Hmm. Hmm. Well, well, well. This motherfucker live? I think so. Oh yeah, there we go. Ah shit, I can hear myself. How the fuck can I? Why can I hear myself? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh, dokie, dog. I fixed the lighting. We're back. We're intact. Y'all can actually see me. Y'all can see the cam. We're back, motherfuckers. Shit. You already know what it is. Man, it's been like 2, 3 months since y'all motherfuckers could even see me. Hmm. I'll drink to that. But what's going on, people? I know Driss is streaming right now, but I got shit I want to do later. And I just had to stream tonight because this chapter got motherfuckers going brazy. Like straight up brazy. It's fucking hilarious. So what's good, Ray Rose? What's up, Frozen Don? What's up, Amato BA? And what's good, Benzo? Man, I wonder who we gonna have turn out tonight. You know, I'm glad you appreciate the title, Benzo. I'm wondering who's gonna turn up tonight because it's Friday. People be doing that shit. They own shit. You know, you dig? Yeah, I did level up. That's a bet. But motherfuckers probably see me, with the face cam, and they all like, that never gets old. Who was that dude that said Luffy doesn't need Gear 4 for Jinbei? That was probably Dritz, who's currently streaming. But yeah, before I get people in there, I want to talk to y'all, man. What did y'all think about the chapter? I know it's like 10 of y'all here. We will get people over. Al Fiji said Hawkins, so I see that's how he feels. Hawkins did take this L. Law looking kind of raw. Law looked like complete badassery. Um, I'm gonna wait till I shout this out later because Pooh is Snake, man, and apparently there's gifters, there's pleasures. Well, I mean, Zoro Ed, I know that Brago stream period, Driss always says that. But there's pleasures, there's gifters, and there's headliners, there's flying six, and now there's numbers. And Apu is one of the numbers. Interesting. And these guys look pretty beasty. So I was wondering if Kaido had more forces that he was working with. And now I understand now. Interesting. Wait, what? That's wild. Vergo he look like somebody's stepdaddy, no disrespect, of course. I ain't old enough to be nobody's stepdaddy, bro. Yeah. Shane W. I was wondering when we gonna get some blue. Ah, woo! Yeah, man, that chapter, I know Driss didn't like it. I did. Who you think pulling up to 1 over Vergo? We gotta have the Marines. And since Fujitora and Greenbow were very occupied with the revolutionaries, I'm gonna go ahead and say that we're gonna see Kizaru and Wano. I mean, we already had CP0, so I don't think it's too crazy to say that. We already had CP0 up here. As far as any other outside presence, I mean, everybody's saying Marco the Phoenix. I think so. I mean, there's gonna be a reason why Marineford is gonna look cute. There's no way Luffy Alliance can survive this without dumb luck. Luffy always lucky, but this shit way too much. I mean, dumb luck is kind of the name of Monkey D. Luffy. Monkey Dumb Luck Luffy. Like that's really how it goes. Kizaru and Green. I don't see Green Bull unless Green Bull's a Zoan. I don't really see why he'd be here. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna talk to y'all for a little bit. I think the whole Rio shit done and dusted. I mean, he's working. Luffy's still working on it. They got 5 days. They kind of just, or just kind of just like thrusting through all the days now. It's kind of interesting. Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna get some folks in here. We're gonna have ourselves a nice discussion today. You dig? You dig? Yeah, I'm excited, man, to have the cam back with good lighting at that. I look like a fucking who's that Pokemon ass nigga before. I'm glad I don't. Hey man, we're trucking along, man. We just hit 700 not that long ago. Already around 715. We're trucking. That 1,000 by the end of December is starting to look more and more applicable. You dig? Let me get that link. Oh my God, babe, I can see you. Yes, it's about time, ain't it, Sage? It's about goddamn time. You're tap, 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 tap. Let's get these folks in here, shall we? I know they ain't busy. They gotta want to talk some One Piece. They got to after that last chapter. They got to. Let's see who's chilling in Discord. Tap, tap, tap. You gonna be doing live? Yeah, I'm out on, I mean, I used to do live reactions all the time. I'm probably gonna start doing them again now. You know, you did. What are your thoughts on Apu? Apu's a fucking snake. The numbers seem interesting. Become a 1,000 man commander. You goddamn right. I deserve to be a 1,000 man commander before Haki ever deserves to be anything. When he becomes great general, I'm gonna puke. But I digress. Bitch, I'm the baby. Who's bitch, I'm the baby? Of course. OBS be like that sometimes. Tap, tap, tap. Traveling, not just cat, cat, cat. Mushy mush. These motherfuckers sure are being quite hesitant to join. I ain't tripping though. If it's gotta be a conversation between me and the chat the whole time, you know I'm with it. You dig? Shit don't make me no difference. I ain't bringing no milk, no cooking, no nothing. Unless my fucking link ain't working, and then that'll be an L. How the fuck Vergo shit look better than mine? Because your ass garbage, Moogie. Yeah, Matt, I don't know, bro. It's not that. It's really not that hard. No cap. Take a physics class, my guy. Tell you talking that good. Everybody is in this bitch. God damn. Man, I thought we was boys. Oh, you talking to BDV? Man, that chapter was pretty dope. I know Driss hated that hoe, but you know it be like that sometimes. Order can't please everybody. You dig? Naya said no. Hell no. Yeah, bro. The chat over kind of cracking. that chapter has me feeling away. I'm gonna come kick it in 10. You have to. I mean, Matt. Yeah, I can go through a tutorial on how to do it. No bullshit. Um, in reality, Matt, I taught myself. It took me sitting down for 3 hours to get this shit to rock. It was annoying. Why did Barbara Virgo Bar? Hey, you know what's crazy, bro? My shit was even crispier, BDV. This haircut is 3 weeks old, my guy. Keeping it a buck. Yeah, Matt is crying. I'm gonna get Matt. Just join, bro, and we can talk about it. It's really not that hard to do. Like you download OBS, you put the encoder in YouTube that you want to use, and like it's straight, bro. It's not even a problem. You do that. You put the encoder you want to use. Put the setup that you want to have it as. You start streaming and record live on YouTube, and then you pull up Hangout separately. It's really not that hard. TBH. If I keep it a buck. What good? See Stone Sage.
How's it going, bro?
Chilling. Chilling. Yeah, you like seeing the fresh cut, Sage?
Oh, I'm actually loving it. Like, you look great. Like, 10 out of 10.
Thank you. What, like this chapter? How do you like the chapter?
The chapter. Alright, so here's the thing. It was a really good chapter, and I don't want to like dispute that fact because I think people would get really shitty at me if I disputed that fact. But I can't help but think that the fact that there's like 3 or 4 things that for me that were like
Mm-hmm.
And having the 2 swords, like one of them belongs to Momonosuke, one of them belongs to Hiyori. Oda writing it so that Hiyori basically has to have her revenge enacted through Zoro is really like mid to me.
Yeah. Hold on, did you just say mid?
Yeah.
We are rubbing off on you in the wrong way, girl.
It's like, I don't know, man. Like, I kind of want more for her, but like, it's not gonna happen. And I know it's not gonna happen, so I've stopped worrying about it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, Sage, I don't mean to cut you off. Jay Hudson, finally! I am so sorry, my friend. You're drunk?
No.
Oh.
Middle of the day, bro.
Oh, bro, I'm so glad to have you back.
Man, let's say so.
Tom, shut up.
I talk so infrequently as well. Like, I'm so bad at getting on a roll, and you got me on a roll, and you were like, "All right, let me." Just
Okay,
stop you
because
at that."
Jonathan's here once every 4 months.
Yeah, all right.
All right, damn it, Sage. I talk to you damn near every day.
Yeah, that's fine.
You still the homie though.
I'm joking.
Hey, but you know what? Do it. Free flow. Keep it rocking. Let's go.
Yeah, so, like, obviously I took a bit of issue with the fact that, like, you know, Hiyori's gonna have to give away this sword that belongs to her father to Zoro, and, like, I just think that's a little bit, like, Like, I don't feel like Zoro should keep that sword. Like, if that makes sense? Like, I feel like...
You're damn right.
Inheritance, like, you know what I mean?
Say it again for the people in the back, Sage.
Yeah, obviously, like, a lot of people are arguing, but quite a few people seem to agree that it's Drake that seems to have let Law go, that's fine with me because obviously Drake in his cover story was set up to be involving himself with Kaido. He's had some kind of long-term plan for a while, whatever that may be. Like, continuing to see Luffy train was like good because it was like, yes, he's not just sitting around.
Drake
the
is one of the
place,
more
he's actually
mysterious
trying to,
supernovas.
like, you know, utilize the skills and the haki he's learning. The explanation of like the lizard being like the two lines and that's how it all makes sense to everyone was okay, I guess. The bit that kind of threw me through some hoops is all of the last stuff though. So like Momonosuke and Hiyori are assumably around in the same place, but they've not met or something. Like, what's happening with that? Because obviously, Hiyori said she didn't want to meet Momo until after the battle had done. So it's a bit odd that like Zoro is with Momo, but Hiyori and Kawamatsu is with Momo, but Hiyori is nowhere to be seen. Carrot hasn't been seen in 20 to 30 chapters now, which is suspicious as all hell.
Wait, Sage, may I piggyback on that real quick? Did you also notice how they have the Tengu guy? He's with them too.
The Tengu guy's like chilling in the background.
When the fuck did he get there?
Waiting for.
He just appeared.
That nigga Odo out screaming shit and putting shit back on the, you know what I mean?
But that's the guy that.
Oh, what's up, Taikweezy?
Yo, what's up? But that's the guy that forged the sword that he gave to Luffy, right?
Fact.
He didn't so, like, the swords necessarily.
Yeah, his descendant Hitetsu made Hitetsu the second.
Okay, his family did it.
Yeah.
Well, not even necessarily his family, but like he is himself a master bladesmith for sure.
What's up, Madara?
Vergo, man, you're trash, bro.
Him being there is
what?
like a plug being there though.
I'm over here about to go to like Friday night devotional, and you gonna start streaming.
You finna go talk about Jesus?
Yo, Toddy.
You trash.
Yo.
Take your ass to church, nigga. You need some guidance.
Go ahead.
What the fuck? And Toddy, the whole squad is pulling up deep tonight.
I was right next to Sage in the hangouts. How you just pull up and separate us like
There's only one man she stands beside.
I ain't never heard nobody say some shit like that.
Hey, Vergo.
Yes.
I'm just saying right now, he will no longer be referred to as Hawkins or Walkins. It is now Watkins. Okay.
My leg.
Why is it Hawkins? Yeah. Everybody knew Law.
My leg.
Nigga got body.
That was for
but he's expected to get body.
What's up, Black Luffy?
Bro, Toddy.
Bro,
The way Law took him apart was
y'all came in deep, and y'all all came in late. Sage, the only white person, is on time.
I don't even know how he took him apart. We just saw that he had a bloody nose.
Wasn't Lord bleeding too? It wasn't a clean victory. Lord was bleeding.
Oh, he was cutting half?
No.
Go look at the channel.
Law was already bloody. Law was already bloody when Law got captured.
Got you.
Okay, but let me spit it to you like this, Mother. Let me give you a hypothetical. If Don Krieg, if Shanks and Big Mom fought, and Shanks,
I get mad every time I hear Don Krieg name.
and then went and fought Don Krieg, and then whooped Don Krieg, would you really be saying, "Oh man, Don Krieg's the wackest nigga in the world"? No, he's expected to lose.
No. Toddy, you have to look at all the advantages. You have to look at all the advantages Hawkins had. Hawkins had Lost Crew captured. He also had sea stone like nail bullet things to shoot at Law. Like he had everything, and he had bodies.
Sage, are you like popping rubber bands?
But nigga,
Hold on.
You forget? Is that Jay Hudson, by the way?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, Jay.
What's up, Ragnar?
But you're forgetting that Law had his advantages too. Law has a goatee, and you know how important
Boy.
design.
Hold on, look. So
that nigga was destined to lose.
At the same time, that situation ended kind of sketchy. Like Hawkins has Drake has a cape too, but Hawkins has a similar cape. Hawkins also has similar shoes. So what if like later we find out? I'm just saying, what if later we found out that when Lord used his sword, he put Hawkins back together, and that conversation is actually Hawkins.
I don't think Hawkins is dead.
No, but I'm saying like say like if
Ty, there's no point in like Oda showing that silhouette of Hawkins when we just saw him.
No, I'm saying that it's no clear, and he's being iffy about what it is. I'm just talking about the power level perception. Forget about who it actually is. I'm saying that say if that figure standing there is Hawkins, right? In the same dialogue it said where Law's like, yo, if you letting me escape is some part of your grander scheme, I'll take it, whatever. So he goes, so then that would mean that Hawkins pretty much let Law do all of that stuff. And it doesn't mean that, like, you know,
Well,
Law,
no. I agree with that. I agree that Hawkins probably
if that
let him
happens.
do that, but I don't think that's Hawkins.
Well, no.
Yeah, I don't think that was Hawkins right there.
The dialogue before Law let Hawkins capture him was what? He told it was Beppo and them to go in and leave now because if you don't, Law's gonna kill me along with
No. But the point of cutting Hawkins up is so that they don't suspect that Hawkins.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Like Hawkins turned weak sauce pretty much for no reason. Like as soon as Lorna met, so I'm saying like it's a slight chance that Hawkins could have just like had this other plan and just played it like, y'all run.
Also,
Lord's gonna kill me.
And also one of the things is like I've always wondered like how did Hawkins not know Apu was going to betray them when he has those fortune cards? How did Hawkins not know? You know, if we think that Hawkins got betrayed by Drake, how would he have not known that as well? Like,
it depends on what he used his cards for.
Well, that nigga knows everything. He's like, that nigga said 0% chance of survival, 0% chance of running away, 40% chance of getting captured and surviving, and the nigga can be like, damn, it might be like a 60% chance.
Hawkins uses his cards for everything.
Yes,
I thought
that man does not eat food unless he checks his cards first.
Yes, but I'm saying he has to specifically look at a circumstance. In this case, he probably didn't look at is Apu going to betray us.
I thought he
chance of that.
I agree with Mata.
I thought he uses his cards to check the survival chances. Like that has nothing to do with like somebody betraying you. He could just tell like, okay,
well, I don't understand why he wouldn't have used his cards. Like when he made the alliance with the other two, wouldn't it make sense that he uses his cards? Okay, is this alliance a good idea? And that would have told him that Apu was going to betray him.
Not really, because
I think his cards work in percentages though, so they're not necessarily like answering and things like that. I think when he gets like words from them, that's when he's using the tarot with his straw man.
Exactly. The cards could have said something like 30% chance of betrayal, and that's not really like.
He'd be like, all right, I'll let it ride.
I think he probably when he was gauging the alliance, he probably accidentally used his Yu-Gi-Oh deck, and it fucked him up. He's like, Exodia? This alliance is a great idea.
Where did 50 niggas come from? Thank you, chat. What's up?
But the way Oda's been like switching shit up lately, I wouldn't be surprised if that figure was the prison janitor. Because this nigga has been throwing me some curveballs all month.
Now, you know what I actually think may have happened? I think that fight like that Hawkins and Law had may have been staged. Like the whole
because they was having a conversation. They was having a conversation where he's like, "Yo, tell me what happened to the alliance." But like they was pretty much more talking than fighting, and it didn't always seem like Law had Hawkins on some like "you better talk before I kill you" type stuff. But we gotta wait and see.
True.
Back when Hawkins was talking about, he was kind of shook when he was like, "Yeah, he basically was gonna kill me and kill all of y'all too." He kind of shook then.
No, I'm saying, but he could have just said that to like, all right, I need y'all to go. This got to be a me and Law type only conversation. So like, I'm just gonna say whatever to get y'all out of here and get y'all out or whatever. I'm just saying that like we don't truly know, and Oda had been throwing curveballs. Is that because I looked at it, I'm like, okay, Hawkins has that same type of cape, and Hawkins also has those same type of boots. So it could be either or. It could be Drake or it could be Hawkins. Like,
bruh, the amount of people that have those same shoes, those shoes are the hottest shoes in the One Piece world. Those are like the Air Force Ones of One Piece. Marco Mayo has them.
Oh, you wild,
fucking
man.
Buggy has them. Y'all can't tell me everybody ain't got them shoes.
No. Look. But if you're trying to observe the story, if you're trying to observe the story with the highest accuracy, then to me you take everything into consideration. So if it's a chance where like this figure is not clear enough to where it could either be Hawkins or it could either be X Drake, you just keep the possibility. Like it's probably more X Drake than Hawkins, but you keep the small possibility that
It's like when niggas thought that Mihawk might have been Emu. I'm like, bro, if you don't see the Mihawk 5s on, that's not Mihawk.
I'm just saying. All I'm saying, Ty. Okay, here's a real world hypothetical. If you showed me a close-up, if you told me, like, this is an NBA player, and then showed me a close-up of some new LeBron James shoes, and that's it. And I couldn't see anything else. That's not enough information to say if that's Dwayne Wade or
no,
James
you're bugging.
or anybody.
The LeBron
Yo, what's
James
up,
is so
EOS?
popular that could be anybody. Like you're wilding.
Just kidding.
Wait, but hold on, look. But the last thing I'm gonna say is that
Moderate,
like, you know
supposed to
how
be praising God.
the way Lord's powers work, he can cut you apart and he can put you back together. Like Oda likes to play with the violence in One Piece, so it could be made to make us think Hawkins was taken care of, but it could also be like
What the fuck was
Hawkins
that?
was put back together. You know what I mean? Like with a slap. I'm talking about that.
Nigga, did you just spit like on your mic?
Slash. It literally
No,
said
I said slash,
Yeah.
like the swipe of the sword. I'm talking about like
Nigga,
okay.
no, that did not sound like a swipe, nigga. That sounded like a loogie.
It sounded like a whip crack.
That nigga said,
Like
that was a straight
all I'm
loogie
saying is
time.
that Lord's cut could have put Hawkins back together, and it couldn't have been a destructive slash. It's like we don't know. There's too many like question marks about that whole shady situation.
Yo, the Shogun of Sorrow in the chat, that shit is lit. That nigga said Black Tim's Vin Smoke. That's lit.
Like him, Vince.
And then also just a question.
Bro, everybody got the Black Tim.
Y'all said that Law was already bleeding before he fought Hawkins. So y'all trying to tell me that Law he could fight Hawkins like that? Like nothing. Hawkins does 0 damage, or Hawkins does nothing.
Well, I think that should be expected. And like that's the thing in the community. Like, there's been a lot of us that have been telling everybody, you guys, it's like been made clear that Luffy, Law, and Kid are the strongest Supernova, and people just keep on pushing back on it. And all we got is evidence on evidence on evidence is that they are the strongest by far. So I don't know why it's a surprise that Hawkins would.
Hawkins also didn't have any lives on him, so
that is.
I mean, why would he? I'm sure he had something.
No,
like, he does all those prisoners.
You have to remember.
Wasn't he restocked?
No, he gave up all the lives that he had on.
No,
he gave.
He only gave up. He only
but you have to realize like that. Those are the ones.
He basically said like these 3 lives are of your crew. That's all I have on me. So if you harm me, you're harming the crew only.
That's not what he said. He said I have them. So if you kill me, you have to go through them. He just let them go. That doesn't mean that was his limit.
No, you let them go. Like,
and it's not like he wouldn't restock. I mean, those lives are like him using those lives are the key part of his ability. That would be like you run out of underwear and then you go a week without buying any, and then you're shit out of luck when and you ain't got no drugs.
Nigga, why don't you just watch that shit?
I'm saying like he would. I would assume that he would always stay with some lives. Like as soon as he gave those up, he's running a prison, y'all. He could pick anybody.
Hey, hold on. I got a question, bro. So every time you put some drawers on, at the end of the night, you just throw them hoes away and box them up.
Is that the term?
No, I didn't say that.
And stock up lives from place to place and like
unless there's a cooldown on that ability.
I think so.
Hey, everybody be careful. Hemmings is drunk. Don't trigger him.
Hemmings gonna be upset.
I'm not drunk. I'm not upset.
Stop hard R'ing people.
I'm upset. Wait, we launched right into like the Hawkins thing, but what did you guys think of the chapter in general?
I like the chapter. It's been going. I've been expecting it to go.
What's it?
I feel like
people. Not the Hawkins thing, but you're always talking over me. Anyway, what I wanted to say is I think we've got a bit of perspective this chapter because we were introduced to the numbers, and the numbers are obviously above, Hawkins at the very minimum. The likelihood is that they're even above the Flying Six themselves. Yeah, well, interesting, isn't it? But what I think we need to remember is Hawkins is actually one of the very lowest tiers of Kaido's crew. Like, the only ones lower than him are, like, the waiters, the pleasurers, and the gifters. So, while they make up the bulk, and the headliners certainly are stronger, Kaido's crew is in massive tiers and is very top-heavy.
I didn't even.
Has it been established that the Flying Six is stronger than the?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if Hawkins is weaker than.
I don't either.
The Flying Six were introduced as
Hawkins.
I think there was like 9 voices.
I don't see the numbers, giving Hawkins, Law, or Luffy any of that work.
So like
Really?
the thing with the
because Kaido has commanders. Like he has his top 3 commanders, and then the numbers might be like lower level commanders like Whitebeard had, but I don't think they're up there with.
The thing,
but you got to think there's only 3 commanders that we already know who's going to fight the commanders. The other people in our alliance have to have people to fight.
People are
somebody to fight. So I'll basically just said what I said today on my stream, right? Because
nice segue.
Yeah, I'm just saying, we're on the topic, right? So I'll just say this, right? So one of my issues with this community, right? What the fuck? I just heard Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, that's me. That's my. Hey, yo, Hemmings, that's my new soundboard.
Oh, okay. I feel it. I respect it. Right? Is a lot in this community. Right? I know some people are kidding and some people are just having fun, but. Mm-hmm. It is a genuine thing in this community when any character, in terms of a combat feat, power scaling feat, doesn't live up to whatever someone might think of them, they automatically become garbage, right? Yeah. I often tell people, Crocodile is my favorite character in One Piece, and one of the first responses I get immediately is he lost to pre-gear Luffy.
Yeah, that's why he's garbage.
Because of that, I'm not like him. I can't like his character. His appearance, the things he's done, his backstory, all that kind of thing, right? I'm not allowed to like that. He lost to pre-gear Luffy, therefore his entire character is thrown in the garbage.
Speak them facts, Speak them facts.
Nobody.
I just say anybody in here said that. Let me finish.
Let him finish it.
I like it's the Hawkins thing, right? I've been clear from the get-go that I like Hawkins' character, demeanor, and the way he moves. Yeah. I knew from the time he took literally one beam. One beam. He was fragile, okay? He was on the ground. He was a hurt. He lost all of his life minus stalls. He took one beam and he was down for the count.
Bro,
he was never.
Law got
hey,
shot.
Hawkins, I agree. Hawkins ran that Dawson's flight.
Let me just finish what I'm saying, and then you can chime in. Let's go through my whole thing, right? So I never thought he was like, yo, I'm the strongest supernova. I'm here to fade people. He was never like that. He was always a person.
His mind is his biggest weapon.
He avoided smoke that was always unnecessary and always followed probability, right? And we got confirmation from the moment that he got. See, like the thing with the interaction with him and Law a couple chapters ago is a lot of people are like, I don't care what opinion you have. My only pushback to anybody who thought Hawkins was afraid of Law, that is the only pushback I have. You could say he got out gambled, outwitted, out debated, whatever the case. The fact of the matter is, he wasn't afraid of him. He was like, "This guy's an idiot. He's just gonna cut through all the 4 bodies I have. Three that are supposed to be his crew. You only had 4 left. Mm-hmm. So he had 4 left. But 3 is his crew. Okay, bro, I'm gonna lose my train of thought if you don't let me finish. Let me finish.
Nigga, your train of thought is 8,000 miles.
I know.
Hey man, listen, we always let him preach. Let him go.
I'm starting from Sabaody to recently. That's why it is what it is, right? So. With that being said, obviously he had the 1 body left. Right now, I didn't make any excuses. This nigga is in 80 pieces. He lost. he got beat. He got washed. He's like there was no fight. His arms are off. I'm like, God damn, why you do my math?
Hold on.
There was no fight.
I still don't have the. Oh my lord, bro.
Man, Act 1 of this stream.
I still don't have the context of what happened based off this guy said here.
Because I am sure hungry for one.
This is part. I know, but the thing about me is piracy. When Luffy said this to Crocodile, bro.
But they didn't.
Oh my God! Shut up! Wait 1 second.
Bro, it wasn't even a dirty fight.
I swear to God, I won't say anything after this. Just let me finish this, and I'm done. That's all I have to say. When Luffy was fighting Crocodile pulled the poison hook, and what did Crocodile say? The world unfair is not. It doesn't mean shit to pirates. A loss is a loss. L's a L. Whether you got jumped, gang bang, 1v1.
They didn't fight.
None of that matters to me. I don't care what happened. Right? He lost. It's a L.
You don't lose. You can't lose.
Capital
L. Can't lose if you don't fight.
That is all that I am saying.
No. So back in.
Happy birthday, Vergo!
Yo.
Happy birthday, Vergo!
Right,
So
Virgo.
back during
Happy birthday,
Virgo. Thanks for having me.
Wait, it's been that long, right? Virgo's
Yo,
birthday, right?
back-
It's
Thanks
been
for having
4
me, dog.
months.
My birthday's in October, and Hemmings just left.
It's October already, right?
No.
Because Hemmings just talked through
He
2
said-
months.
He said he swear to God, like when he was finished, he was gonna not talk no more. So he honored his word.
Damn, my nigga. Hey, Dritz, hop in. I know you said you wanted to come in.
Well, the only problem I had, like Hemmings was making a lot of good points. The only problem I had is
He made
because there was
great,
no,
Hemmings made
because
great
there was
points,
no
but y'all
gaps in
niggas really
it.
got on his nerves
Hold
today.
on, because there was no gaps
Calm
in
down,
it. Like
Ragnar.
there was so many things for us to respond to in that point, Hemmings. But because there was no pauses, like I gotta rewind and go 30 minutes back just to remember like the first couple points you made.
The only point that he said that I didn't agree with was when he said that Hawkins wasn't afraid of law, because Hawkins clearly stated
I don't
he
think
fears someone
he said that a loss.
take into account.
He said that a loss is a loss, but like when during Romance Dawn, when Shanks fought those bandits, right? They actually fought each other, and he said pirates fight dirty. Okay, that makes sense. There was no fight. Like he turned himself, and he's like, I can't win. There was no fight. Nothing happened.
I agree.
Quit.
I agree with you because Hawkins
Well,
is so.
big,
Didn't he
nothing,
say something?
nothing at all.
Like, there was no fight whatsoever.
You don't have to fight to lose. That's like another.
Nah, bro. Like
You don't have to
there was no
fight to
fight.
lose.
There was no fight.
Didn't Hawkins his?
But you can still lose in the
Okay,
situation.
yeah, hold on, wait, hold on,
His argument.
You can
his argument is
definitely
that Hawkins-
lose without fighting.
No, that makes
His
sense.
argument with a loss is a loss regardless.
Just like Conqueror.
Dreads.
How you doing, man?
Sage, what's up?
How angry are you though? Because I'm so angry, and you talked to me about the fucking thing that happened already, so I know you're disappointed that the alliance happened.
Yeah, I think I'm like past the point of being angry right now.
Why are you guys angry?
Oh my god.
That alliance happening it was like dope in my
Who didn't like see that?
Oh, okay.
It was only gonna go 2 ways.
I can't believe you guys are like really upset. Like as
y'all are surprised.
as the poster child for One Piece hate, I'll say honestly,
Toddy, I
like
think you're mistaking yourself for Dritz.
Really
disrespecting my clout like this. I can't believe this.
No, but honestly, like halfway through the chapter, like it really. Oh, halfway through the chapter, like it really hit me. Like, you know what? After like the last 2 or 3 chapters, I think I'm starting to get into Wano. And a lot of people were telling me like, "Yo, the setup's going to be slow, but it's going to pay off." I'm like, "Dude, come on! One Piece has been whack for 9 years." But honestly, like maybe you guys are right because I really enjoyed this chapter. It's the first 10 out of 10 since 2004 in One Piece, in my opinion.
What? No, it was a 10 out of 10.
I love this chapter.
What?
Yo,
wait.
So you had people like
I really liked it, but like 10 out of 10, like hot damn.
Story development.
You had people like Fantos saying that this chapter was like top 5 chapter ever in the history of One Piece.
No, not top 5.
Ever?
No.
What did we? Wait. Let's break this
Depends
down.
how you
What was top 10 about it? What was top 20 about it?
I wouldn't say.
What was top 30 about
But
it?
in terms of
What
like,
was
in
top
terms of
50 about it?
writing, the reason why I put it at a 10 on a 10 is because the writing was so much better than what we've been accustomed to. Now, keep in mind, a 10 out of 10 of One Piece is equivalent to a 2 out of 10 of Hunter x Hunter to me. But because the writing,
You are losing so much credibility right now.
because the writing improved so much in terms of pacing, storytelling, setup, everything moved very, very smoothly.
Toddy, may I interject?
Interject right in the middle of my points. Go ahead.
That's what interjection is.
That was clever.
So, my thing is that you think it's such great writing, and you're normally one to pick out these plot holes. Big Mom and Kaido being buddy, basically about to smash each other again.
That was whack.
That's not a problem.
Hold on.
I admit that was.
The thing with that is
I have a theory of why that happened too, and it is because Oda wrote himself into
First, I say
a hole.
this. First, almost everybody shared the idea of like, man, if Big Mom is on Wano just to fight Kaido and weaken Kaido, and then that's how Luffy gonna get the win, man, that's whack. But then now that's not what happens. Big Mom and Kaido, they joint forces, and I was like, oh man, that's whack.
I don't sound nothing like
Let me,
it's like
Vergo, let me explain why I like that part though.
Absolutely,
About
go
them
ahead.
joining alliances. Of course, I don't like anybody squeezing up on my old lady like that. Let's just get that out the way. But nevertheless, what I liked about that is that, of course, it makes absolutely no sense why they would. But what it does imply, and it ties into something I've been complaining about for months. What it implies is that 2 Yonko are going to go down this arc. I have been saying that I want One Piece to reach its climax way sooner. So the revelation that 2 Yonko are going down in this arc means that the end of One Piece is even nearer. Filled me with joy.
Vergo, did you see what Sandman tweeted out about what Oda said? I saw just comment on it.
Fill me in.
About like 5 years, he said that it's 5 years, maybe 6 years.
To do it in 5 years, he has no idea.
So in 5 years, in summation,
I think that's
approximately 200 chapters.
Wano's going by fast. This chapter was just.
Wano might be like a year and a half left, and then we're going to get into the climax. We'll be on Raftel. We'll have the Great War. I mean, it implies to me that things are really going to pick up from here. There's not going to be no more Fishman Island arcs.
So here's why.
He's getting in the nitty gritty.
Hold on, let me get it real quick. So, and I typically disagree with just a lot, but what he said during his stream, I actually resonated with. When he talks about how we didn't even get a singular Yonko arc, yet 2 are going down in one arc, I think is a little bit asinine.
I mean, what's the alternative? Do you really want to sit through Elbaf for 2 years?
Well, we were supposed to get in Whole Cake.
Look how long Wano took until we got excited.
And we're probably, for God knows, for God's sake, probably not even getting in
You're
Wano.
making a Dustin argument right now.
I don't understand why.
Like, what?
I mean, the pace is picking up. One of the biggest problems with One Piece is the pacing is god awful. This implies that the pacing
and slow pacing to immediately super fast pacing does not equal good pacing.
Yeah, they don't balance out.
Because if I have to sit through Luffy going to prison one more time, I'm breaking my computer.
Oda was already going fast at Wano. This chapter was like a speed blitz.
I agree right now.
I think it was days in one chapter or something ridiculous. Like,
hold on.
I don't think it was. I don't think it went faster. I think it's the same pace.
Bro, hold on. Let me put this in a way. Hold on. Let me put this in a way y'all can understand. The pacing went from Snorlax to Rapidash.
No, it was not. It was already fast.
It's still
There was on like it said
it's like seems slow.
Nah, it said 6 days, 5 days. Well, it said like 7 days, 6 days, 5 days or something like that.
Yeah.
4 days.
Just like that.
5 days left. 5 days left.
Every number that came up on the page, oh God, I was screaming so happy. Finally,
y'all wanted to see those 3 days of nothing? Like, that's why I'm confused.
But yo, if you're really enjoying an arc, you shouldn't want the days to fly by like that.
Well, I'm not enjoying this.
And Ragnar, he has not been enjoying it.
The thing about the days, right?
Have you not been listening to me?
It was 7 days at first, and it went to 5 days. But it's like we don't need like these days to take.
Right, I don't need to watch niggas playing checkers.
We don't need these days to take 20 chapters. So it's cool that 2 days just flew by like that.
Yeah.
Like, what do you guys expect to happen in these days?
Yeah, that's good.
Guys, think about Whole Cake Island. Whole Cake Island was 2 days and was like 80 chapters.
No, but Vergo, like, we're not talking about like how long actually it passed. We're talking about within the arc itself, how fast the days are going by. Like, yeah, Whole Cake Island was short, but it was long.
This is just literally training. Do we need to really?
Yeah, you don't need it.
But guys, you guys got to take the context of the story into consideration because there's nothing that would happen in that week, nigga. Like the war is all that's left. What do you expect to happen?
When 2 days flash
that argument is exactly why it's a valid point.
Dritz, please tell me what do you want to see in this week? Do you want to see niggas sitting on the toilet?
Nothing happened prior to those points in time to make any use of the entire landscape of Wano. Skipping days when the arc has already been this poorly established and ruined does not make the events preceding it.
And then hold on. It's still.
I agree, but I think the flaw in the writing took place when Oda decided to make the festival 2 weeks out. Now that the flaw in that writing should be attributed to those chapters behind us.
I mean,
but this chapter right here shouldn't take the blame because of that mistake.
But that's kind of what Dritz is saying.
I'm also very surprised
if Oda had written the past chapters a lot better, we wouldn't have cared how long it was taking. There were a lot of interesting things going on, flushing things more out. We'd just be like, oh man, this is epic. But everybody,
right, and the frustration should be centered on those chapters behind us, not on them.
Okay, but we shouldn't be like arguing. You know, we're glad that it's flying by. We just wish that Oda had written it better.
Yeah.
I mean,
like the part with Law and Hawkins. How did that did that happen in between?
Like if we went back,
that just happened after the 2 days because maybe that happened.
To Water 7
and
his lobby or whatever, and you put those two arcs together, like I wouldn't want Oda to fly by everything that was in that arc.
I feel like Oda, like he had a game plan in mind, honestly. And as he's writing this arc, he realized it wasn't going to work. The 2 weeks wasn't going to work, so he had to rush it. Big Mom having an arc on Elbaf wasn't going to work, so he had to put them in an alliance. I feel like these are all everything you guys are complaining about are retroactive changes that weren't ever.
But Wano's supposed to be Oda's baby.
I agree with that. I think he had a lot more in plan because there's more in the anime that's being. We know panels specifically out of fights. Just in early Wano that's in the anime, so it's being fleshed out. Plus, he probably had more on top of that.
That's my point, but I don't think.
Plus, he's rushing. Period, because he wants to get this series done in fucking 10 years. But all
I think that's planned before you want even started. I think he's gonna throw you planned it to be fast.
Okay, so I just noticed this when it first starts off, we're at 7 days. After Law does what he does, it's 6 days, and I believe when Big Mom and Kaido was shown, that's the 5th day. So stuff has been happening in between. It wasn't just we just see Big Mom and Kaido and 2 days disappeared. It's no stuff been happening.
I feel like you guys would have honestly been happier. Honestly, I feel like you guys would have been happier if everything took place in 1 day and then we just got a 3-day skip. I don't think you guys would be complaining if the days weren't outlined so vividly.
What's the difference? I don't get the difference.
What matters?
Exactly, there's no difference.
What matters is what you do. But what matters is what's
because Oda has been skipping days ever since Wano started.
Would y'all want to see the whole 2-year time skip every single day of him training? I don't get it.
The problem isn't skipping days though. The problem is what you show in the days that you show.
What was the problem?
And it was a great scene. Every one of those days had a great scene. This show.
Yeah, exactly.
One was
did Big Mom.
Don't get me wrong. I don't dislike the chapter by any means, but I'm just saying there are a couple of things where I'm just really.
I agree. There are a couple of things that were kind of whack. I don't like how Oda made old girls. I don't like how Zoro is going to be the sword of vengeance for Odin's kids.
Also,
and I don't like.
And where all of a sudden Momo has a sword?
Yeah, I don't like that, and I don't like the Big Mom and Kaido alliance is kind of bullshit. Those are things worth complaining about, but the pacing I don't think is worth complaining.
He pretty much takes wait, hold on, the Momo thing.
He has is a woman.
The Momo thing, he pretty much took his father's footsteps. He's in charge of the whole alliance pretty much, him and Kinemon, but mostly him because he's the royalty one. It's a lot of people thinking that Momo's gonna do something dope, he's gonna beat Orochi. He's gonna help beat Kaido. He's gonna do something. Dude is a little kid. He's not doing nothing battle-wise besides fighting some fodder. But what is cool is if he has this dope hack sword, he can actually give that sword to Zoro. He could do something with that sword to somebody else to be abused. Yeah, but not like him being a high-tier combat fighter. So him having the sword makes sense.
To add on to Tadi's point, I was a little upset about the whole Hiyori thing, Zoro getting her dad's sword. Can y'all hear me? Or am I too low?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. Yeah, so I was a little upset about that too until the Big Mom thing happened. When I saw that they had joined forces, that's when I realized 2 separate crews are taking out 2 separate Yonko. Kid and his crew is taking out Big Mom, and Luffy and
Nigga, what?
Are taking
out. That's not.
Hold on.
What?
Wait, that's probably what's gonna happen. Something like that.
Beat a commander. What makes y'all think he's beating Big Mom?
Hold on. Wait. Kid and Luffy, right?
I can explain it. Hold on.
Go ahead,
Jay. A power boost from Hawkins that's gonna make them at least somewhat able to keep up in a sense. And they're gonna have to. It's gonna be first mate and captain against a Yonko captain, and then everyone else is gonna trickle down.
Did I accidentally stumble into the BDA Discord with that theory?
When it happens,
what do you think most of us are from,
I've been
nigga?
right so far. I was calling that Big Mom was gonna join Kaido and they was gonna have to fight.
Yeah, but who didn't?
But Jay Hudson, the flaw in that is it's already been established that kid was no match for Kaido, and whereas Luffy was also no match. Luffy is also going through training right now, which was just displayed. The kid is not going to go through any kind of montage training like Luffy, so it would be ridiculous if he gets his ass whipped by Kaido and then comes back around and beats him.
Kid
Wait,
has
wait, wait,
already.
How long has he been in prison?
No, Kid had his training. Kid had his training when he was in prison with Luffy. He just didn't have no training after that because we only see Luffy training. But to me, the way that I see that, if Luffy has to train, right? No, wait, hold on. Look, so let's say
Kid's been working.
Y'all gotta let each other talk though. No cap.
What is the weight room in the prison?
Wait, look, things could change, right? But if Luffy's gonna be the Yonko, right? And let's say a Kid's gonna be the Yonko, right? But Luffy had to stay and train and Kid didn't. To me, that's like showing like Kid is at a level where he doesn't need this how to damage a Yonko training because he can already damage a Yonko, and Luffy needs it. And keep in mind, what's his name did say, just the way that it was worded, it's worded to give Kid and Killer more credit because it's like they fought Kaido till they collapsed. Like if Law had to explain what happened to Luffy, it would be like, yeah, he thunderclapped Luffy and like, you know, like that was it. It wouldn't be no Luffy fought Kaido till he collapsed. So Kid could be stronger than Luffy. He doesn't have to be on Luffy's level or weaker just because Luffy's the main character.
And Hawkins also has an ability where if he sees you as an ally, he can give you extra power. That was something that was introduced at the very start of Wano, and everybody seems to forget about it.
And one other thing is that Luffy and Kid, they had a little fight. Like, I'm going to beat Kaido. I'm going to beat Kaido. I'm going to beat Kaido. I get why they both wanted to beat Kaido, but it could change to where, like, Kid could just beat Big Mom. Or one of them could beat Big Mom.
That would be absurd.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have to fight over Kaido. It's another Yonko here that y'all can fight over. And then one other thing.
Hey, go ahead, Sisto.
I've been trying to talk for a while, once again. But that's okay. No, what I'm trying to say is, like, if anything...
Well, Black Luffy's in the call, so...
It's more likely that if anyone's going to take down anyone, it's going to be that Kid with Kaido scenario and Luffy with Big Mom. Luffy's been resolved to defeat Big Mom. He was resolved in the end of the fight with Katakuri. I'd be really surprised if there was absolutely no resolution to that resolve to defeat her. I would be less surprised if Kid was involved in taking down Kaido. Obviously, I don't think there's anyone that thinks that it's going to be a complete 1v1. So it's a bit difficult for me to say that I think that Kid would be capable of doing that because I don't think he would.
Well, to counter that too, Luffy also said explicitly said that he was going to take down Kaido in the same manner that he was going to take down Big Mom. As recent as a couple of chapters ago, when the prisoners were telling the story.
But at least that was, matched with when he was saying that to Kid, it was matched with Kid being in contest with that. Whereas no one was in contest really with taking down
Kids seemed upset.
And stuff at the
That's
time,
true.
but once Luffy was actually resolved in himself to do it, there was nobody else to contest it.
Kid said himself that he was upset about what they did to Killer, so maybe that would make him, focused on Kaido. But Luffy did tell Big Mom, like, I'm not gonna fight you now, I'll do it later. So if she's there at Wano, it's just like, one will get one Yonko, one will get the other Yonko, and then Law will be there to help.
Yeah,
nah, man, I think a more realistic. Were you saying something, Sage? You're really quiet.
Am I quiet? Hold up. I have a mic. Am I louder now?
Yeah.
You're the same volume as.
No, she got louder.
You're the same volume as Vergo's soundboard he's so proud of. That he keeps in the basement. That shit sounds like it's down the street, nigga.
Sound effects.
You need to turn it up.
It's just loud to me, so I don't know.
That nigga soundboard is in the Starbucks around the corner.
It's one other thing that could happen. Like the Yonko doesn't necessarily have to fall because like one thing that I was thinking about, and I don't just automatically jump and be like, oh, okay, this is a problem. But one thing that I was thinking about with the way that the story could go is that what's dope about this chapter is that for the first time, something that the Marines feared, two Yonko being happened. So that's dope.
You think the Marines are coming?
That's what I was going to say.
They have to balance out.
The British are coming.
Wait. The thing about the Marines coming, the things about the Marines coming is that Wano is a land like Whole Cake Island is, where it's not, it's like off their jurisdiction. So it's like what goes over there goes down over there. They don't really, for all of a sudden now Wano want to get liberated. So it's like, I don't think the Marines go there kind of. I think they're just going to let them fight it out or whatever and deal with it after. Like I could see maybe as Luffy and them escape, maybe some Marine ship fall, but I don't think they're going to walk into Wano.
They're gonna treat it how they do with Dressrosa.
Especially
how the Coliseum was allowed to harbor criminals and shit, but the Marines was waiting to collect these niggas after it was done.
Especially keep this in mind. Another reason why I don't think the Marines can go is that, like, do you really think Kizaru can go there by himself and deal with Big Mom and Kaido and then at the same time deal with Luffy and Kid and all of them? I don't think he can do all of that. So maybe they would need two admirals, or maybe he would need, like, him and all the Shichibukai, or 2 admirals and some Shichibukai, but with the reverie going on and with them fighting Dragon and with Sabo fighting Fuji, Green Bulls is busy, Fuji's busy. I think Akainu has to go to where.
I agree. That's that same shit.
Akainu kind of has to go.
But Akainu is in the reverie, and that is so far away. It makes no sense that he would get there.
No, Akainu, he's not too far from the reverie, but he kind of has to go to the reverie. So it's like they kind of don't have the forces to go on Wano right now, especially when Wano is not of jurisdiction to them.
No, it's on Mary Jo.
Yeah.
Which is way far away.
If this,
we don't know how far.
The Marine HQ is.
Right, you think? Are y'all proposing that Kuma is going to go around smacking admirals to get their asses to Wano? I don't know how y'all plan on
Marine HQ is in the New World.
Hey, let me interject for a second. So I don't believe in God or anything, but I gotta go. I'm gonna go play some video games with my boys. So you guys have a blessed day.
Peace. You don't believe in God.
What does one have to do with the other?
Wait, what?
I don't pray to God.
You don't believe in Baba G?
Yeah, he said, "Have a blessed day." That was the.
How do you not believe in Big Mom?
I was muted and didn't get to say goodbye. No. That's made me well upset. Never mind. Anyway. But yeah, so now we've got some more people like who are here. Where do people think the numbers lie? Do they think they are above the headliners? Do they think they're around the commanders? Do they think like they're below commanders? Where does everyone else think they are?
I think the numbers are above the headliners.
Yeah.
I didn't like the introduction of the numbers.
What? That was my favorite bit of the chapter. That was pretty much the only thing I really
I think Oda is going way too overboard with these ranking systems within the Beast Pirates. I feel like he pulled the numbers right out that ass.
No, really.
He pulled them right out that ass because I feel like he ran out of people for the Alliance to fight, and he had to introduce a new tier of people in order just to make fights happen later.
How could you say that when he already has King, Queen, Jack, and
there was no foreshadowing whatsoever of these numbers. I can't hear you guys.
Do they need to be like a foreshadowing though?
There was no foreshadowing.
Did they need to be though?
Yeah, well, you kind of do. If you've already established like 5 tiers of people within the 100 Beast Pirates, then it starts to feel like it's gimmicky unless you set the precedent early. And this was just out of the blue, man. Out of the blue, we got giants.
Kaido has been building his army,
the shadow of the Colossus in this motherfucker.
Trying to make the biggest war.
But I think like when we're in Whole Cake, I think there was like groups of people that she didn't name out like directly. Like when we found out like Ray's in them, right? We didn't know them until we saw them.
Those are ain't shit niggas. We ain't talking about ain't shit niggas. We're talking about Colossus.
That's all I'm saying. I'm saying like you don't have to have foreshadowing for everything.
But there's a difference between foreshadowing someone that 99% of the community has forgotten about and foreshadowing a group of people that are going to be taking on Sanji and Law and all these other very popular characters. Who's going to fight Raisin? Is Don Creed coming to the New World?
Anyway.
Apu is also one.
Hey, hold on. I want y'all to give me my clout for a moment, real quick. Because I told y'all niggas Apu was with Kaido from the start. Y'all niggas didn't believe me.
I didn't even think was a theory. I thought that was just like people didn't read.
Yeah, I thought that was just a fact. Like,
I thought that was just.
It was the panel. It was a panel.
People told me no way.
It was a panel that before they decided to attack Shanks, I suggest like they mess with Kaido. But it was almost like in a like, is he suggesting Kaido because he's down with Kaido type of thing? Especially where after what happened, he ends up joining Kaido so easy.
Yeah.
With Kaido, but here's the thing with the numbers. With Kaido wanting to start the biggest war, and he's been recruiting people. Even Hawkins says this, like, Kaido would rather make you join his crew than kill you. I would be disappointed if he didn't have the numbers. It's like you're starting this big war, and this is all you have. Like he
had goons to begin with.
No, but I mean, like his forces can't just be equal to Shanks because Shanks isn't trying to start the biggest war. His forces can't just be equal to Big Mom because she was trying to have a peaceful place. It can't just be equal to Blackbeard because Blackbeard's doing something else. So it make like Kaido needs to have the biggest. Kaido needs to have the biggest crew, and this is giving him the big. Like it makes sense with him having the numbers.
I don't know, man. After the numbers, he needs to change his pirate name from the 100 Beast Pirates to the 100 Billion Pirates. This nigga got so many people in his crew. It's getting ridiculous.
Oh yeah, and with the
I don't even know how they're going to display this war with all these characters.
With the numbers,
have a good Marine Corps.
with the numbers as a,
I'm not gonna see a lot of 1v1.
There's more people in Kaido's crew than there was in Whitebeard's crew.
But he's trying to start the
bigger
biggest
than
war.
Marine Corps.
Whitebeard wasn't trying to start the biggest war. It's like it's like if you like in Naruto, I don't know what Kabuto was doing when Kabuto, like matter of fact, you know the other guy, he had a bunch of white Zetsus and black, like he just had a whole bunch of them because they was trying to start a war. Like when you're trying to start a war, you have that's what you do.
What would a stream be without a Naruto reference from Lord Tai?
Wouldn't be shit.
Oh yeah, but with the numbers, well, I don't know about the numbers as a whole, but with Apu, I always said that since we know he's down with Kaido and we haven't seen him yet, he's gonna come in at a point that's gonna make him appear to be more stronger than X-Drake and Hawkins since we've seen him already. But the thing with the numbers is that it depends what people say. Like, are y'all trying to say that Hawkins is the weakest because he's one of Jack's headliners, and are y'all trying to say that, like, you know, X-Drake would be second because he's one of Queen headliners, and these numbers are of Kings, so then that's the ranks? If so, then it's like, yeah, they would be stronger than the other ones because they're from King. But then it's like it's hard to tell like why they would be stronger than the Flying Six if the Flying Six was said to be the strongest already.
I don't know. I think they're going to be whatever Oda wants them to be because they're covered in doo-doo. Because he pulled them right out that butthole.
Yeah, but
and there's no
Stop saying that.
We don't know.
There's no hiding it. Like y'all know,
yeah, but
y'all know that those numbers were not established.
We don't know what the numbers refer to. We don't know that yet.
So hold on,
they're giants.
But all the people who made
there's no confirmation. But Ty, there's no confirmation the Flying Six could have been giants. I don't think the Flying Six, but like if they turn out to be, like, what does it matter?
Yeah,
but I'm saying all the speculation in the community that was made, all the speculation in the community that was made where it's like Kaido crew is like a deck of cards. He has his King, Queen, Jack, and now it's the numbers, which would be like, you know, 10 down. Or whatever like that. Then it's like it makes sense. It's not out the blue.
Oh, that's a good point. Who's
I'm
the
not
ace?
gonna lie, I did not even think about that.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Well, the ace could just be Kaido himself, to be fair.
It wouldn't surprise me if the four aces came out. Like,
wait. The ace, not the ace. And then you have
Kaido's crew.
Right.
And then you have Doflamingo.
Something.
And then you have Doflamingo.
The Joker.
Yeah, being a Joker. But that's not even mine. That's just something people been saying.
Wasn't Joker Dofi?
Yeah. Joker was Dofi.
He's a wild card.
There we go.
Which I wasn't feeling that cover story where Capone was like, got him fall back. Sorry, Lola. Next time. I ain't about to now.
Sorry, Lola.
Some boys is over there. That's the admirals and stuff like that. I'm good.
Man, what kind of concerns me too is since we know that 2 Yonko are going to be taken down, I don't think it's realistic that anybody outside of maybe 4 characters in the series can hang with Yonko at all. And I just feel like, man, one of them's going to be taken down. Obviously, one's going to be taken down by Luffy, but whoever's not, unless Shanks shows up or Blackbeard shows up, which is my theory, it's going to be really disappointing to see them go down to some poop, you know?
Wait. You don't know in what context.
It's going to be Luffy and Kid.
If Kid ends up taking him down, then that's ridiculous.
It depends what the fight is, right? Look, if the fight is like Kaido smacking Kid around, but then Kid somehow wins, then that's kind of like, all right. But if you see Kaido fighting Kid, and Kid is like, yo, I got that level 4 harder than armor and Haki. That joint Corey was talking about. This is that color of the color of armor. And it's like say like if you see like, what if Kid isn't so like a mismatch versus Kaido as you think, you know what I mean? Because even the whole thing,
then I'd be angry.
Wait. Look, even this whole thing, in a 1v1, Beto and Kaido, he didn't win versus Big Mom. They tied each other out. So I think that was just like a BS statement the story made. So it's no real 1v1. And even that, it's just like a bet.
You know,
Yeah. It's a bet. It's nothing for a fact. So it's nothing to say that Kid can't like if Luffy's gonna hide the win off of Big Mom somehow, or if Luffy and Law is, who knows what Kid and what X-Drake could do, or and like you got to just see how it plays out. I think y'all too quick to say what's trash or what's not, but they don't have to win though. They could be like, whoa, Big Mom and Kaido collab. Like let's head out. We gotta re-strategize. You know what I mean? And maybe.
To be honest, I'm gonna be disappointed if anybody besides Luffy takes down both of them. Because Luffy, they've been building up Luffy to take down the 4 Yonko for a decade now, and they're just going to throw that in the trash.
Yeah, but Luffy needs some rivals.
What's that, bro?
What's up? Luffy needs some rivals, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it can't just all be him. Like he has to have people that want the throne also.
Exactly. Like if Kid takes out one of them, that will keep Kid as his rival status. But it's like, okay, like when Dressrosa was over, Luffy and Lord Bounty was kind of similar. When this is over, like it'll be like, all right, Luffy, Kid, maybe Lord, whatever, like that. It'll put them on like this close to a similar level.
What I'm hoping is that Kid gets killed tragically, and that gives Luffy the power up to take both of their asses out.
What do you mean gets? I mean,
I don't like the idea of Kid taking down anybody of note. Maybe anybody higher than King.
What about when Hawkins said? So hold on. What about when Hawkins said that Kid and Killer fought Kaido till they collapsed? Luffy didn't do that.
So it was Kid's entire crew. It was Kid's entire crew. That green one right there.
No. Yeah. Okay, still, but when we seen Big Mom fight Kaido, right? And King, Queen, and Jack was just there, like they couldn't do nothing because of the power gap. For him and Killer, even if Killer was there, for them to do that, it's like it's still impressive. So it's like I don't know.
Well, there's no indication that they couldn't have assisted or anything. It's just that
the way that the story showed it.
I don't think Kaido would have allowed that. I mean, he released her from her chains and everything. No, I don't think he's going to sit there.
If you pay attention to what Queen said, remember a nerf Big Mom two-shotted Queen, and that was it. And if you pay attention when Big Mom got her memories back, Queen was like, "Yo, it just changed her whole vibe. We're done for." And then even when he brought Big Mom there, she was locked up and she's like, "Yo, feed me food, bring me this, bring me that," and it was giving her the food. And they was like, "Yo, why did you bring Big Mom here?" He's like, "I don't know. I thought you knocked off the shit." They couldn't do nothing with Big Mom. So for Kid and Killer to actually fight Kaido the way that they did.
But did it imply that they were really hanging like that? Or they just didn't die?
Listen. I'm not saying that said that they actually did damage to Kaido, but for them to like fight the dude, to be getting up for multiple times and fight the dude until they collapse, that's impressive. Like,
bro, if I fight John Jones and he knocks me out with one punch, I don't expect niggas to be giving me props.
Wait. No. But listen. Knocking somebody out.
He got back up.
Knocking somebody out in one punch isn't fighting until you collapse, because that's like that's they would just say like you got one spotted. Like well,
if that nigga kicks me in the leg and I run for half an hour, and then he comes and whoops my ass, I still don't expect
the context of the story.
I feel. Wait. Well, we don't know the context, to be honest.
Well, we don't know the context.
There hasn't been enough that's happened with kids.
The story said the context. Hawkins said they fought Kaido until they collapsed. Now look, if Hawkins said they fought Kaido and ran and then fought and then ran, but you know what I mean? You're trying to imply that they ran when Hawkins is like, no, like they fought Kaido until they collapsed.
I mean, but that doesn't imply that. Like they could have collapsed in 10 minutes, or they could collapse
running away and all that, and tactical retreats and all that is included in the fighting. Like when Luffy, when he was running away from Katakuri coming in and out the mirror, he was still fighting Katakuri. Even though people want to say he's not fighting him, I would say that's tactical. No?
EOS, are you like speaking into a megaphone?
Oh, am I really loud?
No,
you sound like
you sound far away but loud at the same time.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay, my fault. Rota, what you saying?
I don't know. I just don't think there was enough in that statement to imply that they were really hanging.
No, but
and with the context of the story so far, I think it's been shown that Kid is nowhere near Yonko.
It shows that that's not the point of it. The point of it is not to say that Kid is Yonko, but the point of it is that he showed a warrior spirit. He actually fought the dude till he collapsed, him and Killer. So that means that, like, if that would happen, then he was in the prison getting stronger, training or whatever, or at the same time Kaido just caught him off guard, whatever. You got Hawkins turning sides and all this other stuff. Like he was like, a confused situation. In a more focused fight versus Kaido, he can do better probably. You gotta like wait and see. Like you're giving it. You're trying to say like he ran, like you're weakening Hawkins' statement. I'm not trying to I'm not amping it up. I'm not like he gave Kaido a scar. You know what I mean? I'm not. No, I'm just talking about like.
I just feel like people give kids so much credit, and I just do not understand why.
I mean, there's no reason to, but there's also no reason to discredit him though.
So, Toddy, the reason why is because there's a clear parallel that Oda's drawn.
I don't think so.
He drew it in one in like one arc. 15 years ago, we ain't seen the nigga do anything Luffy's done.
Why don't people put Law on that same pedestal though?
He did it this
arc. You was right next to him too. Why do you put Law on that same pedestal?
Thank you.
The entire time
he drew a parallel between the three of them.
Well,
but for some reason, because Law lost to Doflamingo, now all of a sudden he's no longer in the picture. Now it's only Kid and Luffy. Now there's no rivalry between Luffy and Law. It's like there's nothing that indicates. I understand, like, Kid is strong, and I'll give you that. He is very strong, just like Law is strong. But there's nothing that indicates that he's anywhere near Yonko level, yet people are speculating that he's going to be one to take one down this arc.
Yeah,
And I don't understand the logic.
but Luffy's nowhere near Yonko level.
Exactly.
Hey, but he's also
Jesus
training.
Christ, man.
He's also in the middle of training right now. Like, he's the main character. There's reasons to believe that he's going to overcome these people. There's no reason to believe that.
But yo, Toddy, parallel like this, right? So Roger was Luffy in the past in a way, right? So Roger had Whitebeard, Roger had Shiki, he had other people. Roger had Garp, he had all these other people that were able to rival him in strength. So Luffy needs someone that's going to be like that.
But why is Kid that person? Like, I bet Garp and Roger clashed several times. Luffy and Kid have clashed 0 times. Not only that, Luffy saved that motherfucker's life.
Who else would it be, though? Who else would it be?
I mean, Smoker is the one that really fits that category. But
Smoker, Kobe.
You think Smoker, Kobe? Yo, you think that Smoker is more?
No, I'm not. I know Smoker's not going to be that strong, but I mean, he's the only one that really.
The problem
I think Luffy's rivals are the Yonko themselves.
Look.
Nah, Luffy's a new generation.
Can you tell me the panels, right? Where
that's like saying the captain of the Rocks Pirates is Roger's rival.
But there's nothing that indicates that any kind of rivalry yet. Like, the only reason people are saying that there's a rivalry there is because of the Sabaody arc. But since the Sabaody arc, there has been no rivalry.
Toddy, hold up. Todd, can I back you up? Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Hello. What's good, everybody? Yo, but Toddy, you're so wrong. You couldn't be any more wrong. And I'm gonna explain why.
Did you say you're gonna back me up, liar?
No, I said I'm gonna back up Ty.
He said he's gonna back up Ty.
No.
Those syllables.
I didn't say Toddy. I said I'm gonna back up Ty.
Nigga, I had an O and a D in there.
Look. You couldn't be even more wrong because Kid is probably the only supernova that has done even close to the amount of what Luffy has done. So let's just go down the history of what Kid's been doing, right?
Well, let me know when he defeats the first commander.
Okay, wait a second. But look, let's just go and visit what Kid has done. Ever since Luffy has gotten into the New World, he's picked a fight with the Yonko, right? We can agree with that. We all can agree with that, right?
Yes.
Yes?
Yep. All of them, really.
Okay.
All of them except for Shanks.
All right. So Kid gets in there, and what is the first thing that we hear about whenever we see Baron Tamago and Peckham's? What's the first thing that we hear about?
Kid attacking
ships. Kid and Law.
We hear about Kid attacking Big Mom ships. We didn't hear about Law doing anything to any Yonkos. We didn't hear anything about Apu, Drake, nobody. The first person that we heard about was Kid.
It wasn't that same conversation that they established that Law was now Shichibukai for taking 100 hearts?
That was established when Smoker confronted him on Punk Hazard.
But
that's still not the same thing. Like joining the government and attacking Yonko's ships.
Yeah, and attacking Yonko's ships. That's not the same thing. But anyways, let's keep going. We know for a fact that he got in the scuffles with the red-haired pirates because they're the ones that took off his arm. He's been fighting Big Mom constantly, and also he snuck into Big Mom's territory for a purpose. He snuck into Big Mom's territory to achieve a goal. He achieved said goal, and he attacked the commander, damaged them enough to the point to where he could escape. So he essentially did what Luffy did. He didn't.
Oh no, you can't draw that parallel.
Yes.
No, you can because if he would have progressed through the whole, let's say he stayed in Whole Cake Island as long as Luffy did. I don't think it's too far to say that Kid wouldn't be able to defeat a first commander. No, it's not.
Yes, it's not. Yes, it is because there's nothing because he didn't do it. That's why because he's not taking down.
Wait a second. Wait, Ty. Let me ask you a question, Toddy. Can you tell me any other supernova that have snuck into a Yonko's territory that have damaged the commander and escaped, other than a Rouge? Can you tell me one?
Well, Rouge for one, and then also
clear. Can you?
And then Luffy not only snuck in, he took down two, including a
we know about Luffy. We know about Luffy and the Rouge.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the feat that you're describing is nowhere near Luffy's feat.
That's months later.
Yeah, but Toddy, you still haven't named anyone that should be Luffy's rival.
The thing in real
because
time,
Luffy doesn't have one, Ragnar.
I don't think he needs a rival.
Hold on. Look,
Ragnar, Luffy doesn't have a rival, period.
So look,
he hasn't had one the entire series.
Look, the way that things played out on Whole Cake Island, Luffy had to fight Cracker. Luffy had to fight Katakuri. What Kid did what he had to do when he left. Like, it was no reason for him to fight Katakuri, so he did.
But regardless of the circumstances, the fact remains that on Luffy's scorecard, that nigga had A+ down the line. Like, regardless of why it happened. And it's not as if Kid did not.
Wait. Calm down. Just because he didn't have to fight, does not mean he was capable.
I understand it doesn't mean he's not capable.
No, Toddy. I'm on nigga. Shut up. Hold on, Toddy. I'm on your side, nigga. Damn. I'm saying.
I thought you were done talking.
I was talking to Ty. I said, bro, just because he didn't feel like it does not mean he's capable.
But wait, I misheard. It doesn't end there. Okay, so look, Luffy's so stronger than Kid, right? But when they was in the prison and it came to physical capabilities, which are devil fruits, muted or whatever like that, they was yes, they was in the prison doing equal stuff. Kid was lifting up just as much as Luffy. Luffy was
with one arm.
As Kid. We didn't see us at 30 year next.
And then Luffy saved his life.
Toddy, who has Kid ever lost to?
No.
Who's Kid ever lost to? Whoever chopped his arm off. And
Kaido, whoever was on Snake's crew.
Those are Yonko.
Wait, there's you just can't say it was a Yonko that cut his arm
but Toddy, who has he lost to? He hasn't lost to anybody besides Yonko.
I don't think he won the fight where he lost his arm. And then also,
he lost to Yonko.
What's his Kizaru or the pacifist?
Luffy lost to a Yonko.
Law and Kid together, they beat the Pacifista.
That was filler, but yeah, let's just go with that. They beat the Pacifista.
No, and he lost to Kaido and
Vergo too.
Regardless of who he's lost to, we know who he's beat.
What's up?
And compared to who Luffy's beaten,
let me draw to the comparison, right? So Law lost to Doflamingo, right? So we know who Law lost to, but we have no idea who Kid has lost to besides Yonko.
Well, we know he's lost. And I doubt he lost his arm.
Luffy lost too. Like Luffy
loses because he beat Big Mom.
That's fine, but okay, you guys are focused on who he's lost to, and I don't know why you guys are heading to that argument.
Wait, hold on. Y'all are so focused on who he lost. Wait. Y'all are so focused on who he lost to. Who the fuck did he beat?
Has he beaten?
Wait.
Who is he beating? That's what I'm saying.
Luffy lost to Caesar Clown. So if you really want to talk about who lost to who, Luffy lost to people.
Well, we're not talking about who lost to who, because the truth is we don't know who he's lost to. The same way you guys are saying. Hold on. The same way you guys are saying who he's lost. Hold on. You guys are saying who he's lost to as if this nigga is 99-0. You don't know who he's lost to. That nigga could have lost to some.
All I know. The only other Supernova that has constantly fought against Yonko, other than Luffy, is Kid. That's all I know.
I understand that Oda's trying to draw this parallel. I think for y'all to say that they're on the same level without a lot of given knowledge is kind of asinine.
But Toddy,
it's just that you guys lack evidence.
Toddy, you're asking who Kid is beaten, right? But that's the same thing as saying who Kid hasn't beaten. We don't know.
No, but we know who the difference is. Hold on, the difference is we don't know who he's lost to, but we do know who he's beaten. We know who Luffy's beaten, and we know that. Hold on, let me finish. We know, guys, come on. We know that. We know who's Luffy's beaten. Luffy has beaten a third commander and a first commander. If Kid had beaten a first commander or a third commander, we'd know about it.
So are you?
And we don't, because he hasn't.
Are you ignoring? Kid hasn't had a role in the arc. Wait a second. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Kid hasn't had a major focus in the art since post time skip at all until Wano. Even in Wano, he hasn't had a major focus.
Are you ignoring the fact that?
But you know that he didn't beat Ben Beckman.
Are you ignoring the fact that they said that he went into Big
Exactly, you know that he didn't. You know he didn't beat Ben Beckman.
You
know he didn't beat King. You know he didn't beat God Jr. And you know he didn't beat Shisha.
Ragnar, Toddy, guys, let's all respect each other here. Matt was trying to say something.
Nah, I just said, are you not respecting the fact that the nigga snuck into Big Mom's territory He fought a commander.
There's a reason he snuck. But continue.
Luffy snuck into the okay. He went into the territory. Whatever you want to say.
Luffy snuck into Hawkins Island.
I respect. Don't get me wrong, Matt. I respect that he went into the territory. But I also respect even more that Luffy went into the territory and took down God Jr.
Luffy didn't just go there.
I hear 7 people talking at once.
Wait. I wasn't finished. Look, are you ignoring the fact that look, it's confirmed. Kid went in there for a goal, for a purpose, fought a commander, and escaped. He inflicted a wound on them enough for him to escape.
Yeah, I respect it, Matt, but I don't put it on the same scale as taking down a third commander and a first.
Hold on, wait. Look, here's the problem with
So what I was going to say is this. So what Matt's saying is like, Kid went to the territory, right? He probably went in there alone, just with his crew, and then he got out. Luffy only got out because he had the help with the Vin Smoke.
Man, all these problems.
He had all these people, bro. He would have died.
Dude, that is headcanon.
It started. That's fucking headcanon.
Also, can I say something real quick? You've also got to.
I said, go ahead.
You've also got to consider the fact that I don't think we can name a single person Kid has fought that is not like directly affiliated with a Yonko. Like, obviously, like we don't know specifically who he fought when he went to Shanks' crew. We don't know a lot of specifics about all the people he's fought. But I don't think we can name a single person that he has fought that is not like a direct either commander of Yonko or Yonko themselves.
We also can't name who he's beaten.
Hold on.
And that's what I'm trying to say. We literally all we know is he's fighting top tiers repeatedly. And
Luffy's been fighting top.
If he fought Shanks' crew and Shanks was his target for the alliance, it's only but so many people who has a sword on Shanks' crew who could have cut his arm off. It looks like Shanks cut his arm off. Because Ben Beckman doesn't have that type of a sword to do. He has more like a gun kind of.
Well, and that's one of the things with Shanks' crew that I've noticed is like, for example, when we saw Blackbeard's crew on Marineford, a lot of them had spears and guns, but we know now that isn't their primary weapon. So like we don't necessarily know like what's his name? Ben Beckman might not only use guns. He might have either another weapon or maybe
no, that's his main
combat.
weapon.
We don't really know enough about him.
That's what he pointed at Kizaru to be like, yo, that's his main thing. But it's more of a gun than it's not the type of a weapon. Like just looking at the weapon, it's not the type of weapon that can cut somebody's hands off. The only people
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't.
Look at it.
We don't really know what Ben Beckman's main weapon is.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like we saw the Blackbeard part.
Ben Beckman could have just blown his fucking arm off with a gun.
That doesn't even look like that type of gun though. That looks like some other type of gun. Like it looks like
but you don't know, bro. Okay, listen. He could put Haki into bullets. You don't know what he could do to the bullets that he shoots out of that gun.
He probably use the breath of all things.
Okay, but here's the thing. Ben Beckman, right? He has a gun. He doesn't have a bazooka to like blow somebody. You know what I mean? Like, it's looking like the chances are that it's Shanks and he's focused on Shanks. He's not like I want to get at Ben Beckman or I want to get. He's like yo, like Shanks got to get it. You know what I mean? It was probably Shanks. That's all that I'm saying with that. And look, Thadi, with what you're saying, I brought up a point that look, I brought up a point that at the prison, right?
Yeah.
All right, look, I brought up a point that at the prison, they both had handcuffs on, right? The sea stone cuffs.
And they were lifting the same amount of weight.
Yeah, exactly. So if Luffy's stronger because he beat Katakuri where? Because I didn't see it there. You know what I mean? They seemed equal. So like whatever Kid has been doing that we don't know what he did, he's equal to Luffy in like physical power, or at least from what the manga showed. So you can't just act like it's not like we seen Luffy picking up more than Kid, or Kid being like, Luffy, help me, this is too much for me. No, Kid was like rivaling Luffy, and they was going head and head. And one other thing is that you keep talking about he beat Katakuri. Show me where I get it. We don't know if Kid beat somebody at that level yet, but show me in the story where Kid is shown to be weaker than Luffy. Show me in the story where Luffy is shown to do something that Kid can't.
Luffy saved his life. And
no,
Luffy...
listen, no. Stop. Because the only reason why Kid actually escaped and why Luffy was stayed there and Kid actually escaped. Kid only came back because he seen Killer and he just let himself get escaped so he can be with Killer and stuff like that. I mean, he's let himself get catch so he can be with Killer and try to see what was up with Killer. And that's why he got back into that situation. But other than that, he didn't need Luffy help to get out of there. So you can't.
The reason why I would say that Luffy is certainly stronger is the same reason. Hold on, let me finish.
Show me where at in the manga.
Well, I'm trying to.
that Luffy, don't change the context of what you're about to say. Show me in the manga where Luffy is shown to be stronger than Kid, or where Luffy can do something that Kid can't, because it's no, like, I get it that Luffy he's learning these techniques, right?
No, I get that. I understand the
question. Kid does not know these stuff already. So, like,
no, it's the same. I understand that. So here's my answer. It's the same reason why we can say that Akainu is stronger than Buggy, because it's not going to be spelled out black and white side by side. One fights an opponent and wins. One fights an opponent and loses. No, it is the same reason. It's the same way with Power Scale everybody. It's a comparison. Hold on, I'm trying to answer your question. It's a comparison. It's a comparison of feats. And Luffy's feats are just by far the largest of all the Supernova. He's the main Kid is not even. No one is even close. You don't know because we know that Kid has not beaten a first commander. We know that Kid has not defeated a third commander. We know he hasn't done these things. We know that he has not beaten a warlord. We know he hasn't done these things, and we know Luffy has. Look. We only know what people tell us.
Yo. Sage want to interject real quick.
Yeah, I'm really interested to know what your thoughts are on Kid obviously having Conqueror's Haki in the first place, because we haven't seen him utilize it at all. So for him to have been given this ability, for us to not see it, you either must believe that we're never going to see it because he's not Luffy's rival and therefore it doesn't matter, or you see it coming into play later in the story, and if we see him later in the story, it makes more sense that he's Luffy's rival. So I need to know how you think Kid as a character, with his Conqueror's Haki, with his, lack of wanting to form alliances, with all of this stuff, where do you think that characterization fits in?
Okay, so
I don't believe that the ability of...
Let me please get
this. I thought you was asking me.
I said, please let me get this one.
I'm asking everyone because I'm interested to know what people's viewpoints
are. I've been waiting to interject for a while, and it's actually still what I was going to say.
Okay.
So with that question, I believe, back when the little hippo headliner, when Kid and Luffy took him out, first of all, when everybody said they're going to get executed, and Luffy and Kid said there weren't going to be a problem, I believe they both used it right there and then, first and foremost.
Nah.
No.
That's fine. You can disagree. I believe they did.
People fall?
Yeah, you shouldn't interject.
Vergo. I was gonna say, Vergo. Here's how Kid actually showed it, like, subtly, is that they were saying that the reason they can use the Sea Stone, or they can function under Sea Stone, is because they have strong wills. Like, Oda hasn't had a chance really to show him use it on other people because he didn't really fight anyone. He just kind of blew down a door. So we probably will get to see him do it later on.
What's up, Rube?
Yo.
What's up?
Give me 1 second, and then I'll hop in this conversation. I gotta finish something up really quick.
Yeah, but with that, I feel like that's the parallel.
Well, I do want to touch on Stage's point before we move on, because I think it was a good point. But I would counter that by saying that I don't think having the ability of Conqueror's Haki automatically puts you up into some kind of god tier, or implies that you're supposed to be a central figure to the story, because we have seen Doflamingo get washed with Conqueror's Haki. We've seen Don Krieg get washed with Conqueror's Haki. We've seen people with Conqueror's Haki that did not end up being that significant.
Wait, hey, hold on, run that back, Turbo. What the fuck did you just say?
I think he meant Don Krieg. I mean, Don Chinjao, most likely.
John Chinjao, yeah, I'm sorry.
Hey, yo, do you guys remember?
I'm still stuck on
I'm sorry, they're both so weak, I get them mixed up sometimes.
Well, Vergo.
Oh, God.
Do you remember post-time skip when everyone was hating on Haki, saying, what's the point of it anymore? It's kind of useless.
Absolutely.
And stuff. But now we learn about advanced observation Haki.
Correct.
We learn about advanced armament Haki when you combine both those with the breath of all things.
Correct.
So Conqueror's Haki was saying it's useless as well, but we're going to see something done with it. I feel like Conqueror's is the last thing Oda's going to show us what you can really do with it. I'm sure I think Matt made a video about this.
Does that mean Don Chinjao is going to show up in the war?
Whether he does or not, Conqueror's Haki is not just a tool for top tiers to just use as crowd control. It's not supposed to be just a knockout fodder, obviously.
I made a video about what?
Didn't you do a discussion about Conqueror's Haki?
Yeah, I think so.
Man, you're gonna make me go through my whole case tonight.
Can we get back to this Kid discussion really quick?
Yeah, so if you believe that obviously not everyone that has Conqueror's Haki is going to be important, which I do fully agree with, there are great examples like Don Jinzhao, who could be the exception to the rule. I would move to say that's fine, Doflamingo isn't, because Doflamingo was a main villain for a massive arc. That's trash to say that he was irrelevant. He wasn't irrelevant at all. That's very.
Well, he's important to an irrelevant arc. You're right. So.
Yeah. So what I would move to then say is the secondary point I made, which is the fact that we haven't actually seen Kid do it. And as much as off-screen odor is a thing, do you truly believe that we will have the third special supernova that's been set up, that was set up in Sub-OD, that has been, set up along all these chapters for hundreds of chapters now, and he's not shown it yet, and you think the next time that we see him, there's not going to be, it's not going to be this grand moment. He's not going to have an incredible moment to shine. And I think
I absolutely do. But in the same token that God Jr. possessed Conqueror's Haki, I believe that someone like King could also possess Conqueror's Haki. And I feel like King is a more appropriate opponent for Kid rather than a Yonko himself. And I feel like if there was a moment of a shining moment that Kid would have, it would be against someone like King.
How could you say that? Wait.
Weren't you just talking about headcanon?
How could you say that when Kid himself?
I mean, we're speculating.
Look. If Kid is making plans, like if he was already attacking Yonko crews, right? And he messed with Shing's crew, he messed with Big Mom crew. Then
make that Sage Shush a soundboard.
Then look, Kid was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go after Shanks," and then he was like telling Luffy, "I'm gonna go after Kaido." King is not even on his radar. He's going after Kaido, or he's going after Big Mom. So you're trying to downscale him for some reason to fight King. But he's like, no. He's like, Luffy, I'm gonna fight Kaido. He wasn't like Luffy. Luffy wasn't like, Kid, I'm gonna fight Kaido. And Kid was like, yeah, I'm gonna take on King. You gonna do? He's like, no, you're bugging. Like I'm main character.
Honestly, if we think back to their alliance, now that we know the whole thing about Apu being with Kaido from the start, I'm guessing that it was probably Apu that swayed them towards going after Shanks, and then because when Kaido attacked them, Kid had already lost his arm, right?
Yes.
So that means at that point they had already fought the red-haired pirates, and he already got fucked up and all that. Correct. So I don't know if Kaido was trying to have them get some intel or whatever it was, but so he that was the only. I think Apu was the main reason they went after Shanks.
No, Kid did it to get revenge for his arm. You got to keep in mind.
No, it sounds like Kid went after them.
I think that
Kid went after them alone, and afterwards he realized he might need an alliance to take them down.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think that Shanks stuff happened way before the alliance. I'm pretty sure.
And it's a moment in the story.
Well, when they first made the alliance, did Kid have both of his arms or no?
I'm pretty sure.
I think that.
Yeah.
So if he had both of his arms at the beginning of the
he had the metal arm. He had the metal arm.
From the beginning?
Yeah. Because I remember when in Punk Hazard, when he's walking out, that was like one of the first times we saw his like new like metal arm design
and everything. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a scene. I'm not sure if it happened before they beat Dofi or after they beat Dofi, but Apu is like when they're talking about the Yonko and stuff like that, and Apu was like, yeah, Kaido, like trying to suggest to them that they take on Kaido. So I think that he was trying to suggest Kaido, but Kaido just
they were looking at the newspaper and they saw that Luffy's alliance was after Kaido, and they're like, no, we're going after Shanks.
No, but Apu mentions Kaido. It's panels of the Supernova, and Apu says something like where they're trying to talk about what they're gonna do, and he mentions Kaido.
I'm really surprised, like overarching all of this. I'm very surprised that you guys would not be disappointed if Kid came out of nowhere and it was all of a sudden Yonko's strength.
Yeah, I totally will not be okay with that.
Because
Luffy.
Why did you say that Luffy saved Kid? What did you mean by that?
I was trolling.
Oh, okay. All right. Never mind.
It's the same way people troll, like, well, Kid could have killed Luffy.
Toddy,
like,
can we touch on what Toddy just said?
I got a question.
What the Yonko level shit?
No.
I'm an honest man.
You said
Yonko level.
You said it would it be weird if Kid just came out of nowhere and was Yonko level, right?
Yeah, I'm surprised you guys wouldn't be disappointed to see him just like.
Okay,
Toddy, you understand you understand where you just fucked up, right?
Yeah. You just realized where you just fucked up, right? Hang on, Vergo, I got this. So Toddy, are you telling me that Luffy's Yonko level? That you think Luffy's Yonko level?
I think after this training with this old man.
No. Anytime before Luffy fights Kaido, do you think that he's gonna be Yonko level? Do you think that he is Yonko level?
Toddy, please.
It's silent.
Please, you know the answer to that question.
Please answer this question.
That was a trap question.
No, it was not.
It's a big time trap question. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't do it.
It is a very simple.
Don't do it. Reconsider. Read some
but
letters.
Also, it ignores context.
No, it
ignores
doesn't.
context.
Because it ignores a lot of things, like the fact that regardless of whether the answer is yes or no, Luffy is probably going to not be fighting him one-on-one.
Exactly. No.
That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. What I mean.
What you just said though, Toddy, is you said, y'all wouldn't find it weird, y'all wouldn't be pissed off if Kid was just automatically Yonko level comparing Kid to Luffy.
Because Luffy won't be automatically. We actually see in Wano. Let me explain.
Kid's gonna start the fight. Don't
try to pin me in a corner and then not let me stand up.
It's not putting you in a corner.
Let me explain. It is putting me in a corner if you guys don't let me respond to your question.
Let Toddy speak.
Okay. The difference between the two is that, like I mentioned, foreshadowing in a different conversation we had, we actually see Luffy going through a steady progression in Wano. He has constantly been on the rise. He is actually currently in the process of mastering advanced armament Haki, and we're seeing this progression.
What if Kid is already past that?
With Kid. Are you guys implying that we're gonna see a flashback of him training on the mountaintops with Haki? There's no progression with Kid.
Wait a second.
Let me ask this one simple question. What if Kid has awakening?
Wait,
hold on.
But there's still no progression. He would have had awakening the first time he won.
Awakening doesn't matter,
and he lost.
Even if he had awakening, I would only put that equivalent to maybe fourth gear. But to get really to that Yonko level, like awakening for Kid wouldn't enough be alone.
If you remove Kid from that question, right, and Matt only asks you about Luffy, do you think Luffy is Yonko level?
No, I put the context into. I put it into context. Of course, Luffy at this moment is not Yonko leveled, but we are also getting a snapshot of Luffy literally progressing to Yonko level. The only way, and that's why it will make sense eventually when Luffy does take down, because we've seen this progression. Now, the only way that Kid could have a similar progression is if this nigga literally fights Jack, then fights Queen, then fights King, and then fights
wait a second. Let me ask
Kaido, because he hasn't been shown any progression whatsoever.
I like what Toddy's saying.
Okay, wait a second though. Okay, so listen, Kid has been fighting since he's gotten into the New World, right?
Yes.
Okay, what did we find out about Haki? Is that your Haki blooms in what? Extreme situations.
He's had the most difficult battle.
Wait a second.
Matt.
Listen. This is what I'm getting at. Luffy had time, right, to hone his skills, to hone his Haki skills, right? But whenever it came to him getting into the New World to actually fight, he can't finish fights 1v1. He didn't fight Dofi 1v1. He didn't fight Cracker 1v1. He didn't fight he did fight Katakuri 1v1, but he's had help. Bro, I don't care. I know what I'm saying, nigga. He's had help ever since he fought Dofi in fights.
All right,
all the way until Katakuri.
I got this.
Okay, that's
hold on, Toddy. Let me defend you for a moment.
He also had hell versus Katakuri.
Let me defend you for a moment. So the thing is, Matt, on top of those, what you're saying is very accurate. But Kid went straight in and then got his experience through blooming, right?
Exactly. He got his experience.
I know. I agree with you. But Luffy got that training and also has been blooming, my nigga. He got double the dose.
Wait.
Okay, but we don't know what Kid's Haki skills are yet. We haven't seen them. We haven't seen him fight.
But
why the fuck would you believe that he's on Luffy's level?
What we've seen of both Luffy and Kid is their track record. Now, what you guys are listen. Hear me out. We have seen since Dressrosa, we have seen Luffy go from Warlord, Third Commander, First Commander. It makes sense. His next step is Yonko. With Kid, we know he hasn't defeated a First Commander. We know he hasn't defeated a Third Commander. We know this. So you guys.
That's not even. Wait, hold on. That's not even my point. That's not even my point. That's not even my point. Wait.
He's gonna go from not defeating any commanders to all of a sudden a Yonko.
Toddy. I want to take this somewhere else. because that's not even my point. My point is that y'all saying Kid been in the new world, he been getting it, he been grinding, he been getting stronger because he's been actually experiencing these things. Luffy not only got training beforehand, but is also experiencing these things. So then why the hell would he not be above him?
Listen. Because the way, all right, look, the way that training works, you could apply this to anything, and I'm pretty sure that it stands true, right? Compare somebody like studying, like, all right, not studying is not the right word, but somebody training, right? So like when you're training, Luffy's training against baboons and like stuff like rhinos and stuff like that. Kid is actually when he's attacking Big Mom's ships and stuff like that, he's getting real world experience with like real Captain Cruz while Luffy's in there playing around with or training with like animals. So Kid
playing around
experience in the new world is superior to Luffy's training because he's fighting more dangerous people. And then Kid just stayed there. So now with
okay,
Luffy
Taekwon, I agree, but did you hear what I said? He's getting both. He's getting both.
Can I say something really quick? Can I say something really quick, please?
Hold on. And let Froob hasn't talked much, so let him go.
Let me go after Froob.
I hate this entire thing where people overvalue training because we forget that the entire story of Luffy is basically him fighting people and basically powering up throughout the arcs. He never had to train up until the 2-year time skip throughout the entire story. So that's one. And two...
Did you see the drastic increase, though?
Wait, what?
The drastic increase in his power when he actually got to train.
Well, yeah. In my opinion, I think that the only reason that the time skip was put in the story at all was literally just to speed up the story. I think that Oda could have easily drawn Luffy going through the same shit as Kid, but he would have had to have lost the same amount as Kid lost, whether it was losing his arm or getting his fucking crew captured by Kaido and all the age shit that Kid had to go through. He would have went through that, and he would have gotten stronger just the same.
Fair enough.
Exactly. That's all that training did. All that training did was save Luffy some losses. Kid was getting better experience.
I just want to ask two questions.
I agree, Ty.
I just want to ask two questions. If Morgans would have never came to Whole Cake, would the news have gotten out about what Luffy did?
Fuck no, baby.
No, right? So his bounty would have still been what, like 500 mil?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. If Morgans would have been where Kid was at and reported what he did whenever he snuck into Big Mom's crew, would his bounty be higher? Would he be perceived in a better light?
Absolutely.
I mean, his bounty would probably be higher, but the thing is, Luffy's actually perceived as being successful. He got credit for all the things that he really
keep in mind, Luffy got.
Look, what I'm saying.
I'm agreeing with you right now, but continue.
All I'm saying, right, is a big part of like where Luffy's why people are putting Luffy on this crazy level when it comes to Kid, I feel like it's because of his perception in the world. Because it's been reported what he's done.
Fake news Morgans.
But he's beaten God Jr. If Kid did anything of equivalency,
the only thing that Morgans lied about was that Capone was under him and that he defeated Big Mom herself.
And that he was the mastermind behind the entire plan.
And that he befriended the
But he did defeat 2 commanders, dude.
Okay, so here...
The Chateau falling was a lucky accident.
He defeated 2 commanders, dude.
Here's my thing,
but what I'm saying is
a
lot of the hyperbole they used was like
nothing in the story that
compared to what he actually did.
All right, look, this is the major problem. It's nothing in the story that says that Kid can't beat Katakuri. It's nothing that says Kid can't beat Cracker. So that's just an assumption.
But there's nothing that says that he can.
No, but listen, but if it's nothing,
because he never has.
Wait, stop. Look, so let me just ask you this: if it's nothing to say that Kid can't beat these people, right? And you're trying to say that there's nothing to say that he can, but Oda's portraying him equal in the prison while they're lifting up the same amount of stuff. Then why are you
Yo,
no, that's not the only thing that he has.
Exactly.
Set up to be Luffy's rival. I don't understand why you don't get that. I hate where this argument has gone because it's fucking turning into fucking who can carry more rocks, Kid or Luffy, who can defeat more commanders, Kid or Luffy.
And that pisses me off.
The entire conversation started off with Toddy saying that Kid is not Luffy's rival, but every single scene we've seen Kid in has shown him to be on so many different levels to be basically Luffy's rival. And I don't understand like why we just look past what the author's clearly trying to tell us just because we haven't seen any feats from Kid.
Okay, Froob. You know who else was set up to be Luffy's rival? Law.
It doesn't matter.
So why don't you make? Why don't you make? Hold on. Why don't you make? Why don't you make that same? Hold on, guys. Why don't you make that same argument for Law? Because instability. Neither was shown to be superior than the other one. They were set up to be 3 equal rivals. Now all of a sudden, because Law is in an alliance with Luffy, he's no longer in consideration.
I think part of what
there's a
if you were to consider the possibility of Law being in that prison with Luffy, I don't think Law would have lifted no 500.
There's a difference.
But being able to lift.
Wow, you guys are really getting great into this whole weightlifting thing.
I know that not only does that not directly correlate to strength, because that only measures physical strength, and we know that they've got a lot more than that.
There's a difference. There's a difference between being.
There's a story. Wait, hold on. One Piece is a story. Every single thing that Oda does, he's trying to convey something to the audience. When he conveys something to the audience where there's like a little rivalry going on between them to see who can lift more stones, and then Kid lifts one more stone than Luffy, what the fuck do you guys think that he's trying to tell us?
No, Luffy.
I don't think he's trying to tell us that Kid is going to take down a Yonko without taking down a commander first.
It's showing physical strength. He's showing that either.
That would be insane if he just the first name character Kid beats is a Yonko. That was nuts.
Toddy, he fucking fought a commander and injured one, and you keep ignoring that. Tell me another character. Tell me another Supernova.
Luffy.
We already know Luffy. That's fucking understood.
That's the point. We're comparing these two.
Hey, Toddy. To be completely fair, we haven't really seen, in terms of defeating people, we haven't really seen much from Zoro. But if he was to defeat someone high tier, I don't think many people would complain.
But the difference between here's where I think the disconnect is. No one is arguing. Me and Vergo are not arguing that Kid is not strong. That he is not has a lot of potential to do amazing things. What we cannot say is the extreme that he will take down a Yonko.
We don't even know if Luffy is
a definite thing.
We don't even know if Big Mom's going to fall this hard.
What'd you say, Sage?
I said very few people have said that Kid is going to take down like a Yonko.
Who does think Kid's going to take down?
That's what this whole thing is about.
Hold up. They've said he might help. They've said he might come in a later arc. We're not really sure, but what the definite thing they're saying is that Luffy and Kid are rivals, and that's what we're disagreeing on.
Okay, let's
say sugar pound honey buns. That has been said several times.
What, Vergo?
That shit has been said several times to stream, and it's honestly getting on my nerves. Sage, they definitely have been saying this shit.
Yes, they have been saying it, and that's what they're arguing, Sage. That's what this whole thing is about. Is they're saying that they're going to take down Kaido. One's going to take down Kaido. One's going to take down Big Mom, and that's what we're arguing against.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that most people that argue that Kid is as strong as Luffy think that they're both gonna like quote unquote team up to defeat Kaido together. I don't think anyone's saying that Kid's gonna 1v1 Big Mom while Luffy 1v1 Kaido.
Yes, they are. No, am I losing my mind?
You just got. Hold on. Wait a goddamn minute. Wait.
You guys, Vergo, the stream owner.
They're not saying that anymore. But when this stream had began about an hour ago, that shit was literally being said.
Yes, and that's what sparked all of this.
When it comes to Luffy,
in fact, in Taekwondo, what's the one people that said like, "Oh, Kid's gonna handle one, and Luffy's gonna handle one"?
Here's the big disconnect, right? Look, when it comes to Luffy and Kid, right? Look. When it comes to Luffy and Kid's strength, right? Everything that I see, I'm not biased with it. I don't really care who's stronger. I always seen Kid be stronger than Luffy. He always had like a little bit of strength. I don't know.
Wait, hold on. Can we stop arguing about who's stronger than the other?
Wait. I don't know if what Froob said is true. If Kid lifted a few more of those things or not, but like he's always been shown to be stronger than Luffy to me. And if not, he's been shown to be equal.
Okay.
But this whole thing of just because Luffy beat Katakuri, now Kid is like nowhere near Luffy. That's not true, because for all we know, if he was always perceived to be stronger than Luffy or equal to Luffy, then that means that they both could have beat Katakuri. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden just Luffy can beat him and now Kid is off somewhere else. Like if Luffy, so keep this in mind, like if Luffy's getting this training to learn how to damage a Yonko from the inside, right? This is what you need to damage Yonko, because without this, you can't damage a Yonko, right? We all pretty much agree with that, right? For the most part. So if Kid doesn't know what Luffy knows, that means he'll be of zero use. He won't be able to damage Big Mom. He won't be able to damage Kaido. So for us to see Luffy getting this training and Kid doesn't need this training, it's showing me that Kid has this technique already. Kid can already damage Yonko.
Listen, wait a second. I'm not gonna jump that far. This is what I'm gonna say. When I said earlier in the live reaction that I did, I said Luffy's gonna handle Kaido. It's possible that Kid could handle Big Mom. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying they're gonna handle them 1v1. Fuck no. Anybody that says that is wild. That's crazy. But what I did say is that if it's like Luffy, Zoro, Law, possibly, because of this thing with the alliance and the potential chance of 2 Yonko going down, and then let's say you got Kid, name some other Kid, Drake, fucking Killer, whoever else you want to name, Hawkins, Apu, possibly. Like, yes, that is possible. So that's what I was saying when I said Kid, Big Mom, Luffy, Kaido.
Well, here's and also I want to ask Vergo.
And then just to go with just to go with the narrative and to go along with the narrative purposes, that keeps Kid and Luffy equal to each other whenever after this, because after these 2 Yonko go down, the 3 great powers are pretty much going to be done for,
destroyed,
right?
Because
so then it's going to
be
be
the abolishment of warlords.
So then you have the Marines inserted as pretty much the main antagonist for the rest of One Piece, the Marines / world government, and also the Supernova fight amongst themselves, because all of these people are trying to. It's still the Throne Wars going on, but they've just eliminated the Yonko at this point now, because Blackbeard's going to take care of Shanks.
Virgo, I wanted to ask, who was saying that earlier that you think that, was it someone that wasn't in here, or are you saying
so we had a chat, we had Taekwon, we had I think Chad and Taekwon.
Okay. All right.
It was like, all right.
I thought you were saying that it was like Matt.
Ty, you did say that shit.
Wait. Listen.
Nah,
it was not me. Wait. Hold on. You're trying to make it was a stream full of people. You're trying to make it seem like it was just me, you, Thotty,
okay, that's all I can remember, nigga. Okay, Taekwon, that's all I can remember. Who else said it?
Wait, who said it? Who said what?
That Big Mom
Kid was going to be
taken care of by Kid.
It was literally half this
1v1,
and now they're changing their story
I feel like it was more people, but I'm only naming. Wait, guys, calm down. I'm only naming the people I remember.
Okay, all right, cool with that. That's not important. Look, what I was arguing was that
it is important. It is to me.
No. This is what people said was going to happen. They said that 2 Yonko is going to fall. Luffy is going to be in charge of taking out 1 Yonko, most likely. And then Kid is the other guy's probably going to be in charge of taking out the other Yonko. Just like how Matt said, where it's like, it's probably not going to be a one-on-one. It's probably going to be like, whatever, they're going to have some help. But they're going to be in charge. They're going to be, no. They're going to be the main reason why, like, these Yonko fall. It's not going to be because of the other ones. Like, Hawkins isn't going to, like if it's Luffy, Law, and, nobody's going to outshine Luffy, and nobody's going to outshine Kid in these fights. So they're going to be, like, the main reasons why these Yonko fall when they fight, if the fight happens this way. What I was talking to you about is that, like, you have, like, you weren't saying, nobody was going hard, like, Luffy can't beat Yonko, but y'all trying to say, like, but if Kid does it, then it's BS. But I don't think it's BS. I think that Kid,
BS.
No. Listen to the example I said. Y'all always trying to be like, like your examples is like this, or your examples is look at this example, right? Because I already planned it out. So look,
I always listen.
So Kid is gonna have to assist with it. If Kid doesn't assist, taking out Big Mom and Kaido, if he doesn't assist in one type of way, he's kind of useless. Don't you agree? Like if he's not gonna do anything, like he's not gonna be of help if they're gonna take out a Yonko. Because
I think it's more realistic that he would take down King.
No,
I cannot see Oda drawing. I cannot see Oda drawing.
Hey, hold on, Toddy. For the love of all that is not cancerous, let this nigga finish.
Look, here's the problem. If Kid, and I think we all can agree that Kid is probably the second strongest supernova to Luffy there, if not the strongest supernova there. I think he's the strongest one, but whether he's top 2. So if Kid
I'm gonna let you say that and not fight with you right now.
Know what I mean? So wait. So you think Drake is stronger than Kid and stuff like that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, pretty much.
What the fuck did I say that?
But there's supernova that we don't know about. Like,
I never said any of that fuck shit. I said I'm gonna skate past it. Just go ahead.
If Kid only takes on King, and let's say like Luffy takes on Kaido, who's messing with Big Mom? Kid is the best bet versus a Yonko. Like if two Supernovas got to step it up.
Well, see, the thing is, I think the mistake that you're making is assuming that two Yonko have to fall at the end of this.
All right. Listen,
and
no,
assuming
I also said, and I was the only one who said this. Look, I was the only one who said that they could get to a point where they just beat Orochi and they figure out it's two Yonko alive, and then they back up.
So actually,
you are wilding, my guy.
Yeah, so with Big Mom and Kaido, right? So Luffy now has a purpose to take on Kaido because of Momo and Tama and everything going on in Wano because he cares.
But originally,
hold on. but originally, Luffy wanted to go after Big Mom. He challenged her and said he's going to come after her for Fishman Island. Law was the one that had all along his target as Kaido. So now we have both of them. So what we're probably going to see is what we originally saw on Sabaody with. Yes, Law with his direct target, Luffy with the target, but it's all going to be collaborative as well as Kid involved. Because Kid also wanted to go after Kaido for
I feel that, right? I feel
that. Law is gonna play his part, but to me, right, the main two people that's gonna be like, in charge of this, two Yonko, or put it like this: the people who get the credit when this is over. You see how after Dressrosa, Luffy and Law got the credit. The people who's gonna really get the credit is gonna be like, yo, Luffy took out a Yonko and Kid took out a Yonko, and then the alliance helped.
Well, to be completely honest, you can't even assume that people are gonna get credit for this.
But listen, we're debating about look, we're debating about nobody knows what's gonna happen. Let's just like I said, I was the only one who said that they.
But Toddy, the borders, they're going to open the borders at the end of one.
Yo, I think everybody, okay, I'm going to say this too. I think all of the Supernova are going to get their shine. Like they're going to have, every single one of them are going to have moments during this arc. Every single one of them. Because the way that it's looking is that every Supernova is going to be on Wano.
Yep.
I don't see, like, I really don't see how Aruj, Bonnie and but anyways, look.
Capone
what I'm getting, what I'm getting at, right, is just how I think Law might get a shine. Do y'all think that there's something more to Kaido not being able to die, or do y'all just?
Yeah, I agree. So wait. I agree that Law can play his part like that.
I think it's the dragon.
Look,
Kaido can actually. I think it might be more because the thing is. What would be great is if Kaido gets defeated, but like at the end he's just laughing because he can't die, and so they used up all their energy, and he just rises again. And
that brings me to how I'm gonna ask. That brings me how I think he's actually going to die. I do think that Matt, to answer your question, I'm convinced that it has something to do with this devil fruit. I don't think just a dragon. His only ability is to be able to fly around. I think that there's some mystic shit behind that, and it goes back to my theory from way back. The way Kaido would go down is that somehow Blackbeard is going to show up because he has not been shown in a long time, and he will be the one to take down Kaido.
The Marines wanted to execute Kaido, right? They could have just drowned him.
The story never.
They could have just dumped him in water, but like he can't actually die.
The story never did this. You want Blackbeard to come in, right? All right, look, Luffy got himself into this match. He's gonna get himself out of it. You want Blackbeard, you want Luffy to take out a Yonko and Blackbeard to take out a Yonko. But like if Blackbeard wanted to take out a Yonko, he could have did it. He's not gonna like use Luffy opportunity to take out a Yonko. Like this is the time.
It's not about using. It's about capitalizing on a situation, and he literally has done that already. He did that with Whitebeard.
I didn't even get to explain. I didn't even get to explain
Blackbeard just randomly walk up is just like so fucking random.
Like this is
Big Mom. Have you seen the numbers?
Like Big Mom would have died if she hadn't gotten out
the numbers were random too.
This is so Luffy and
Kid, but that's way
Law and
the numbers are connected to Kaido almost 100%. That's way different.
But people showing up at the last second has been happening since the dawn of One Piece.
This is so Luffy.
You remember Shanks showing up at Marineford? No one would have guessed that would have happened.
We've been wondering.
You can't name another example besides Marineford.
No, hold on. But when you
any example
I can.
Any example you name, there's going to be a good like reasoning as to why.
But also, for we've known that Kaido had to have more people. We were just waiting to see them. Like people were saying, man, Kaido has to have more because it's not looking fair right now. Oda never said
that is not alluding to him having more.
Well, this is like
I agree, Vergo.
Oda never said
Ragnar.
Kaido has.
Listen to what I was saying about.
This is a completely different conversation, but I don't think those are part of Kaido's crew.
Hold on,
the numbers.
Yeah, I don't think they're part of Kaido's crew.
Well, Ty made a good point earlier. Ty made a good point earlier about that we didn't really pick up on. Is that the numbers follow the numbers actually follow the naming nomenclature of Kaido's crew from
that was
King,
a great
Queen, Jack, and then the numbers.
And they even got a Joker if you look at Doflamingo.
No, I understand that, but you got to see that the numbers are literally. It's going to be impossible for me to explain this.
Yeah, I know. Everyone's talking.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking.
Hold on. I will regulate this. Taekwon, say your point. Frug, you are next.
All right, got it. Look, the numbers are for fact in Kaido's crew because we heard Hawkins say Apu been in Kaido's crew, and they still when those kids they was looking at Apu like he's a number 2. So I guess all of those people are numbers. But the point I was trying to make about Kid is that look, you need to have that armament Haki to damage the Yonko from the inside to damage them, right? That's what's being shown. That's why Luffy has been training. Has been training, right? And we didn't see Kid do any of this training. So Kid has to play. And look, unless you think like what Toddy does, where Kid is just gonna fight King and that's it. But if you think Kid's gonna play any involvement in taking out a Yonko, right? He's gonna have to have that technique too, the way he can damage Yonko from the inside out, or at least have something that is equal to that. So if Kid, so the way that I see this, Kid doesn't have to do this training because he already has that technique. So when he shows up to fight a Yonko with whatever the people he does it with, he's gonna be able to damage them just like Luffy's gonna be able to damage them. But if y'all don't think that Kid has his technique already, that means that he's gonna come to help fight Kaido. He's not gonna be able to damage Kaido. He's not gonna be able to damage Big Mom. He's gonna be useless, and that's not gonna happen.
He might.
Well, I agree. He has the
Wait, guys. Before y'all interject, Fruit was next.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna make a point that's not in.
It's about the numbers.
What I'm trying to make is that the way that the story is showing it.
Because he's talking about the numbers. We're on numbers now.
Like Kid is already superior to Luffy because he doesn't need to learn this training. He already has that training, or he already has something.
Well, I guarantee that nigga does not have
guys, come on, let's show each other a little bit of respect. Let's take a little bit and let Fruit make his point.
He's gonna keep talking. If you respond to him, he's gonna keep responding back. So
that's true.
Yeah, Toddy, what the fuck?
Luffy, to me, it looks like Luffy.
There's a strategy.
That's why Luffy's training. Kid is not training.
Left Fruit talk.
Okay, so the thing is, from what we've seen with the numbers, this is gonna be the most shitty explanation because my fucking brain is all jambled from that interruption. But anyways, okay. So from what we've seen from the numbers, right, they're just like a bunch of like weird looking demon things, and they all have horns and they all have clubs, right? So it looks like they're in some way related to Kaido.
Mm-hmm.
And they're probably somewhat of his race, right? And when we see like the two little girls or whatever, or the kids talking, they say, "Who is that? It's a number from Onigashima. We need to get away from your fest." And then when we see Queen talking about the numbers, he said, "Oh, they're attending the banquet. They've all got drinking problems, so I hate having them around." So it's like, it seems like they're all like kind of like based around Kaido. So they're probably like whatever race Kaido is, they're probably the same race as Kaido.
You remember?
That's a good point.
Here's another parallel, right? So the revolutionaries. Remember when he said he was bringing all those people together, and they had a similar reaction from what's his name, the dude that can change people's genders. I forgot his name, Ivanko. Yeah, and he was saying how I think it was him. I'm not sure. He said that you're bringing all those people together, and so they were a part of the revolutionaries. They were just scattered out.
All right. Well, let me just say this. I don't think that, or I think it's possible that they're a part of Kaido's crew. The theory that's going around right now is that the numbers are kind of like the tier in between the headliners and the calamities. And I can almost like guarantee you that that's not true because the numbers are basically what the numbers are is they're like those giant things right there. Like Apu is not a number. A number is whatever those giant things are right there.
Well, the little girl was looking at Apu when she said that.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I think
are people actually saying Apu is a number?
I think Apu's a number.
I think Apu's a number as well.
I don't think Apu's a number. I think
Sage is still here.
I think
No, you have to look at the context of the panel. Like, obviously, I understand what you're saying when you say that the girl's looking at Apu, but if you look at the panel again, the girls are looking, but you see like shadows in the background, and they're like looking above.
We're not talking about Fruit. Man,
and I have the panel open right now. They literally say we need to get away from here fast, or we'll be eaten. I don't think they're scared of getting.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me say something real quick.
Yeah, exactly.
So the numbers, I get what you mean. Why you think they might not be about it. But they're talking about like, hey, yeah, they always get so drunk and they always act a fool. And then Apu talks about like, yeah, it's gonna be like crazy like last year, blah blah. And like, I'm not trying to have a falling out with anybody. Like he was there like last time. I feel like he's a number.
And honestly, Ty's point about the nomenclature of the 100 Beast Pirates is enough for me. The fact it'd be too coincidental that King, Queen, Jack, numbers. that they wouldn't fall on a sequential level of power.
Drake and Hawkins are headliners, right? So like Apu should be a headliner as well.
If you don't acknowledge Apu as if you don't acknowledge Apu as a number, right? Then this whole conversation, it seems like they don't really give a f about Apu because it's like no. Wait, no. I'm just talking about the manga because I'm looking at it right now. Because
Lona Spada said he's the musical number.
They're like it seems like the numbers have returned. You know what I mean? So it's like with that, it's like Apu is a member of the numbers, and they overturn.
I mean, but you're saying we don't give a fuck about Apu. Apu is a member of Kaido's crew. He's the headliner, but he's not a number.
No, I'm talking about. Look, all right. So if you don't think Apu is a number, and then you read this, then it's like nobody ever because it's like look, he talks to Kaido. Apu is like yo, Kaido, I'm gonna be over there.
The way the panel.
Nobody ever acknowledges Apu. It's like
the way the panel reads, Ty, is like it makes it sound like the numbers in those giant things haven't been around a minute, but when they come around, they cause like hectic chaos. Exactly. Like Kaido himself. Whereas Apu is like a new member to the crew that recently
Hawkins already said Apu in the crew. Here's the thing.
No, we don't know how long he's been in the crew.
We haven't seen, but wait.
That's only possibly true if you think that Apu has been a member of the crew pre-time skip.
No. Hold on. Look. To be fair on this, look. To be fair, really ever since we've been to Wano, we have not seen Apu. When we first see Apu, he's chilling with the numbers.
But these guys,
it seems the same thing that like he's with the numbers.
If Froob is right and these creatures are like Kaido, that means that Kaido's been around for a while, so they have as well. These are like his brethren. They're just like him.
No, of course.
Whereas
Apu,
I got a question for Froob too.
So here's what I'm trying to say. Look, of course, these numbers probably existed before Apu joined the crew, but for whatever reason, when Apu joined the crew, he's with the numbers. Okay. So here's the thing. I think I see the problem. I think Froob is talking about the numbers as like some type of a race thing, and I'm talking about them as like a flying six, like calamities,
that's what I'm saying. Like I think
that Apu is a part of.
Given this is One Piece, I'm gonna assume that these new characters, these numbers, are kind of like partiers. Like they're gonna be like kind of not like gag, but like they're gonna have gag moments. So Apu was sent there because Apu does what? He likes to party, he plays music, all that stuff.
Yeah, he's a number.
These characters are probably they probably like that.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, Apu is a number. Not that it's different. As far as like race goes and stuff, yeah, Apu is something else, and these people are more like Kaido. But I think they're all numbers. Like that's the name of their group.
Real quick,
I don't know. I'm not.
Wait. Before you go on, I want to say the mod of the day today is Share the Day. My boy's been here for a while.
Out of here, son. Oh, that's the second time you did that, son.
What's wrong?
He's trolling. He's just
what's wrong with your whole ass?
Okay.
I think I've been.
Oh, congratulations.
Congrats.
I kind of been persuaded that Apu is not a number. It would make a lot more sense if he's a headliner because he's likely close to strength with like Drake and Hawkins and all that. But my question for Froob is, if you don't think that the numbers are the next strongest tier after the calamities, who would you think is between those two?
I mean, well, there's like a bunch of different things I need to say. Like, first off, I don't necessarily know. Like, I would be happy, like what you're saying, if that was like the case. But like the thing is just like, I think a lot of people are assuming that the numbers are like a power group within Kaido's thing just because it makes sense from what we've seen from Yonko's crew. But like, I'm just like giving off the context of what we saw from this chapter. I don't think that's what like they are, if that makes sense.
You don't think they're a fighting force?
No, I do. I'm just saying, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I just think that the numbers are just like a race of people, right? Like, they might be part of Kaido's crew, but I don't think that Apu is a number. Is just all.
I agree.
Yeah, the way it's like you can't get promoted to numbers. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not a rank for someone to obtain.
See, right. I think it's a rank.
I mean, the other thing that I'm wondering is like if
they'll have their own name, because numbers is still like a musical number, and Apu does music, so he's probably able to get into that rank or whatever. But I think these people.
I don't know if the language translates to Japanese like that though.
No, but still, whatever. It's speculation. But these numbers, people, I'm pretty sure that like when it's time for their race, they're gonna have their own. Are they gonna be something similar to like what Kaido was?
I thought Sage was talking.
Azunia was like the numbers isn't like a race because like here's the thing. Apu never says Kaido, I'm with the numbers. It's just that Apu speaking to Kaido, it's like, yeah, the numbers is there. You know what I mean?
You know, so we have to think.
The thing is, the little kids are literally saying, we got to run away from the numbers or we'll be eaten.
Yeah.
I don't know how you could even consider that as Apu being a part of that.
Because, because look, right? on the page, right? Apu's the one talking to Kaido. So then they're like, who's that? Who do we see talking? We see Apu talking, and then we see like the other guy dancing, and then we see the numbers in the background. So this is
we see the numbers first, actually.
This is all right. Look, but this is still,
we see Apu first. We see
all right. Look. This is still including Apu, and then Apu never mentions that he's with the numbers. So that's like just him speaking to Kaido. It's like saying like, okay, Apu is like pretty much Apu is looking like he's in charge of the numbers. The way that this is like he's the main dude.
But even then, he wouldn't be a part of the numbers. That's fine. But he's not.
No. But listen, right? No, you are. If you're in charge.
You got 1 minute to make this point, because ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I gotta shut this shit down.
Oh, okay. All right. Shut it down so I can continue this argument off stream.
That's fun. All right.
Yeah, there were so many elements of the chapter too. We never.
Everybody, I really appreciate everybody coming through. It was lit. 64 y'all watching right now. It's lit.
And you're a hoe.
It was a blast, man.
And you're a hoe.
Good for me. These guys we've been arguing about the chapter all goddamn night. It's been fun though. Obviously tune in next time. Hopefully, Fruit doesn't kill them after stream. I don't know what's about to happen. But y'all have a wonderful day. Peace.